It is rustic in nature, and yet you go inside, and it's in amongst the rustic nature are all these wonderful conveniences as well.
Well, that's the best of both.
Internet. It's got internet.
It's got the internet.
Yeah.
Does it have indoor plumbing?
Yes.
It's a house.
That's a house.
No, it really is. It's because it's logs and it's old. It's really old.
Is there a dead thing hanging on the wall?
Yeah, it's not truly a cabin unless there's a dead thing hanging on the wall.
You know, like antlers or a head of some
fish.
sort, or a fish. Yeah.
Okay. I happened to notice on one shelf there was one tiny antler that someone had found somewhere, I guess, and sat on a shelf.
Then it's that's a cabin. If
one little prong of an antler someone had
So
picked
how
up
close am I to having a cabin right now?
Where you are at this moment?
Yeah, because at this moment,
light
I have
years.
Indoor plumbing. I have indoor plumbing.
Internet?
It's older. I have internet. Do I need a dead thing on the wall?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you have rat traps in certain corners of the house?
There are rat traps out in the yard.
Do you have a lock on the door that you have to pry a little bit because it's all bent and old and ancient, and you have to pry the hasp and get it open?
There's a closet in the garage that's difficult to open.
When you step outside, do you step out on pavement or dirt?
Pavement.
There you go. It's a house.
It's a house.
You're a
Okay.
house.
All right.
You're a house.
We weren't clear until that point, though. It could have gone either way.
Because I was ready to get a dead thing to hang on the wall and call it a cabin.
Carrie, why do you have that dead thing hanging on your
cabin.
wall?
You mean in my cabin?
That's all you need.
All right.
I'm opposed to dead things hanging on the wall.
Okay.
Not my favorite either. So I guess we ought to get to it.
Yeah, let's get it over with.
All right, then why don't you guys call? 877. Yes? Were you going to say something, Mr. Jackson?
No, I was just going to say the video is now up.
Okay.
So we got that going.
So you were going to say something.
Yes, x96.com/live is where you go to see that.
877-602-9696. That's the number you call right now. Check in with the Radio from Hell show. Say, hey, we like to know that you're out there and you're ready to go. You can also text us at 33986, but we like to hear your voices. 877-602-9696. Call, check in with the Radio from Hell show, and we'll be back and officially begin it in a moment.
Rael Salt Lake is back, and X96 wants to send...
Direct from the haunted house near you, he's the guy who chased you out at the end. He wears,
I was scared.
He wears the hockey mask and threatens you with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
He is Chainsaw Guy.
Yeah. How are you? You're the little girl who wet her pants last time, aren't you?
You scare me every time, James.
Yeah.
Chainsaw Guy, it's good to see you. Of course, a lot of people know you as the guy who chases you out at the end of the haunted house with the chainsaw.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
And you've been very busy.
Yes, very busy. This is my big night.
But a lot of people don't know that Chainsaw Guy is also a very sensitive man, especially in the ways of love and relationships.
Oh, thank you. And I am a licensed sex therapist.
Now,
Sex therapy?
when you are, when you're doing your sessions, do you wear the mask? Or do you take it off ever?
The mask never comes off. I do change the jumpsuit occasionally. You like the new one?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, well, I thought it was time for a new set of overalls, and so I got the bright orange like a prison inmate.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
It adds to the menace.
Thank you.
All right. Chainsaw Guy, I believe we indulge her every year. Chainsaw Guy, we have on the line Tim, Tim is on the line, who's desperately in need of some of your love advice. Tim, go ahead and tell Chainsaw Guy exactly what's going on and ask your question when you're finished.
Sure, Chainsaw Guy. Well, my question is, I'm in a relationship with a girl named Aubrey right now, and everything's going swimmingly with her. She's great. The problem is with her mother. Her whole family is all LDS and very LDS, and I'm very not LDS.
Yes.
Her mother naturally has a problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to know, Chainsaw Guy, what should I do?
Well, Tim, I think our And again, and then mother and daughter, and you take both of them out to get a tender strawberry, a lot of no temperature, and a curry on top, and a take the person over, and then start the vinegar. And I end up doing both.
So there you go, Tim.
Thank you very much.
I left out the part where, Chainsaw Guy has his chainsaw with him. It's all a key.
It's a pulling.
Part of the, it's a pulling. Yes, it is a pulling.
Catherine. I got rid of a heck of a
I don't blame you. Catherine, Chainsaw Guy is here. What is your question?
All right. I'm curious because I've been dating this guy
a
couple weeks.
Are you bi-curious?
Are you bi-curious is what he's asking?
That's what I said. Are you bi-curious?
No. I'm just curious because he keeps on saying that he wants to just love me to pieces.
Oh.
And I just don't know if I should let him do that because it kind of creeps me out.
Uh-huh. Well.
So, Chainsaw Guy, what should Catherine do?
Well, Catherine, first to the Lord, if you get a refrigerated truck, and then you do it in the thing. And then the person goes around, he's the tea, oh, and then you down, and then I kind of get a little bit, and then around, and then you just walk on, and then you go up for them, and then he can live more of you in more places.
There you go, Catherine. I hope that helped. Are we done, Gina?
One more.
I'm always up, although I'm very busy. I've got
he does have to go and sharpen the chainsaw blade.
Just one more.
All right.
What do you mean? It's not a chainsaw blade. It's a chain, you idiot.
Yeah. Brittany.
Hello.
Hi, Brittany.
Chainsaw Guy is here. What is your, tell us about your situation and then ask Chainsaw Guy what to do.
I have this friend that we've been friends for a long time, and I have a crush on him, and I just met his new girlfriend, and he wants me to honestly tell him what I think of her, and I can't stand her, and I want to tell him how I feel, but I just don't know. Chainsaw Man, what should I do?
Well, I just Brittany, what are you doing? I think I know. And then the first, so you get a girlfriend, and then you're going to hit it. And after you really have a girlfriend, so what you're going to do is tell her about it, what you think of that, and then you go home, and then I think there's no more part to marry. And then, if you think of the over, and then you want to say, is anything, the car is anything, end up in a three-way.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Brittany, thank you.
No, thank you.
Can I go now? I've got a lot of people to scare.
Yes, thank you very much.
Sure.
Chainsaw Guy.
Are they performing now?
All right, yes. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Chainsaw Guy. It's just amazing he makes time on Halloween.
Look at that. He's out the door. Look at that.
There he goes.
Here he goes. Orange jumpsuit, his pulling chainsaw. There he
Hockey
goes.
mask.
For another year, gone.
Glad he got rid of the Husqvarna.
Yeah.
It's not as scary as a pulling because they're higher pitched.
Yeah. I remember when he started, all he could afford was an eager beaver.
All right, 6:22. Let's get it over with.
All right, we can. 877-602-9696. That's the number. Hey, call. Why don't you, huh? say, hey, check in with us. We will check in with you. But first, let's begin the program.
The Downtown Tuesday Market is open Tuesdays through September 29th from 4 p.m. until dusk at Pioneer Park. Shop fresh local produce, handmade food products. For more information, go to slcfarmersmarket.org.
The moon is in the first quarter. It is 47.5% of full, on its way to being full. The moon will rise today at 2:31 p.m., today being Tuesday. It's the 25th day of August in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2020. And this is the Radio from Hell show, broadcasting in the 21st week, day 148 of our at-home pandemic broadcasts, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Radio from Hell's very own Carrie Jackson. I'm Bill Allred, and there she is, the lovely, the ever-charming Gina Marie Barberi. Katie, for short, is in the studio back in Salt Lake City, running the show and keeping things going in great fashion, as always. And Skip and Miriam are in the engineering department, in the producer's booth, helping things run. Today is National Kiss and Make Up Day.
Oh, okay, let's.
So if you have anyone that you need to kiss and make up with, I'd advise you to do it today. It's Chinese Valentine's Day, best celebrated with a bowl of bat soup or a piece of pangolin pie. And it's also National Banana Split Day.
How long since you've had a banana split?
I cannot recall the last time. I was thinking, when did I just don't know.
Is it the dessert or the kids' TV show?
It's the
from
dessert,
the 70s?
which you have to, a whole banana. You just cut it in half. You put one half on one side, or you could use 2 whole bananas, but that's kind of extravagant. And then in the middle, you put at least 3 scoops of different flavored ice cream, and then you put a different topping over each one, and slather it with whipped cream and cherries. A banana split. Not something you do for yourself very often.
No.
If at all.
I was thinking about it. I haven't had one since...
Now, we made some chocolates, so we made some sundaes last week. Hadn't had a sundae for a long time.
Like with all the fixins?
Yeah, pretty much, with scoops of ice cream, and we had both chocolate and or caramel syrup and our topping, and we had nuts and whipped cream, and we had some very good cherries in the house. So
very good cherry.
Yeah, we used the $25 bottle of cherry.
You
cherries.
use the Luxardo cherries on a sundae.
Yes.
Wow.
They're delicious regardless. I mean, eat them right out of the jar.
Yeah. 877-602-9696 if you want to check in. Anybody there want to do that?
Oh, no, but all this talk about ice cream is making me want a malt, a shake or something.
You prefer a malt or a shake?
I'll take either. If I'm picking, I'll take a chocolate malted.
Yeah, I think I would go with a malt.
Yeah.
I am going to seek out some ice cream today.
You could go to Trolley Square and go to the that normal.
Yeah. They got their own location now down on 9th.
Oh, that's right, they do.
Yeah.
They're also still in Trolley, I believe. But yeah, that normal ice cream is really good, and she does a very great job.
Because I will buy ice cream, and then it's in the freezer, and I think, well, that will be nice when I want that sometime. And then the rest of my family, it's like they can sense there's ice cream in the freezer. They didn't see me put it in there. And I will come back the next day, and it is gone. They have all eaten it. They said, well, you snooze, you lose.
It was there. I said, why'd you eat the ice cream? Well, it was there.
Why do you have to eat it the second it enters the house? I don't understand.
Let's see. Andrew says, I had Bischoff salted caramel ice cream yesterday. Fantastic.
Where do you
Bischoff.
get that?
I don't know.
Andrew, where do you get that?
Is it Bischoff or is it Biscoff?
Biscoff, sorry.
Biscoff, yeah.
And then Steph says that there's a new Handles by Sue's Gym, and I just need you to specify, Stephanie, because Sue has memberships to many gyms.
Is she still?
And why do you know? Why do you know where Sue's Gym is? That's
yeah.
Steph, I mean, really.
Did she keep all her gym memberships?
No, she canceled most of them, but
Yeah,
she at one time had memberships to 3 or 4 different ones.
Now,
Depending on her
has she
mood.
gone back to a gym?
No.
Yeah, no,
No.
I haven't either.
As a matter of fact, we just got a rowing machine.
I was thinking, I'm thinking I might get a bike, a recumbent, or a stationary bike for the house.
We've got the treadmill, and now we have the rowing machine, and of course all the other gear that she has upstairs in her office.
Her chamber.
Her chamber.
So nobody cares to check in, eh?
Guess not.
Maybe there isn't anybody listening this morning.
How could we test that?
Well, I know there's at least 12 people listening.
12? A whole 12?
At least a dozen. I can guarantee you at least a dozen.
Well,
we're doing the show for the 12.
All right.
All right. Let's see, Andrew. Oh, Andrew lives in, that's right, he doesn't live here in Utah. He says he got it at Fry's, which is a Kroger. So, Smith's.
So maybe Kroger, or maybe Smith's will have it.
Because I want that ice cream. That sounds wonderful.
Texter, last banana split I had, they did the bananas, they put them like under a broiler for just a couple of seconds to heat them up and kind of caramelize them a little bit.
Sounds good.
That might work.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a break. We'll be back with Big Boy News and Opinioendo after these. Oh, you want to do some traffic? Gina?
There ain't any, so don't worry about it.
Ain't none.
Ain't none traffic right now.
All right, let's get some news after these. X96.
And now, it's time to play the game that everyone wants to play. It's Beat Gina! Beat Gina brought to you today by Haster Games. Haster Games in Midvale has the best selection of board games, Magic, and Dungeons & Dragons. And Haster also buys used games. Haster Games on 6831 South State Street, or go to HasterGames.com. And today, one lucky contestant will win a Fat Cats gift card. Yes, but that's not all. Another contestant, no, the same contestant, will win a Radio from Hell tote bag. And now, here's the man who can host a game show with one hand tied behind his back. He's so good, he can host 2 game shows at the same time. Wow. When you look in the dictionary for the words game show host, you will find his picture, and you will swoon. Wow. Here he is, the man, nay, the legend, Kerry Jacksboy Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome,
Although
Kerry.
I think you're just taking Wikipedia entries about Wink Martindale and using them for me, right?
Oh, no. Wink Martindale doesn't cast a shadow like you do.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
How we pick the contestants, you ask? Well, it's easy. We determine, based on the prize that they're going to give Gina, if she beats them at Scary Movie Trivia. So, line 1, Gina is offering you a Greek gyro meal.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's prepared here or
no, there's no
if it's
specifics.
transported.
Okay.
Doesn't say. Line 2 is offering you Halloween cookies and wine.
Okay.
And line 3 is offering you Lehigh Bakery donuts.
I've never had the Lehigh Bakery donuts.
Oh, they're very good.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Is that what you want?
Sure.
Going with Lehigh Bakery donuts with Brad. Brad is who you will be playing against today. Brad, are you there? Oh, hang on. Brad, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, good. Thank you, Brad. I was doing some work during the commercial. All right. We toss coin to determine who goes first. It does give you an advantage in the game. Heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. Coin toss app says tails. That means you go first, Brad.
Are you feeling confident, Brad?
Very confident.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
These trivia questions prepared by Katie, I would think.
No.
No? Okay.
Hawk.
Based on the Scary Movie franchise.
Okay.
Which were the parodies of the Scream movies and a whole bunch of other horror movies, and so it's based on those.
Okay.
So here we go. Brad, your question first. Multiple choice. What is the name of the high school that Cindy goes to in the first Scary Movie? Is it 1, Shadyside High School, 2, Serial K High School, 3, Dead Bodies High, or 4, B.A. Corpse High School?
I think it's A.
Shady Side? Incorrect.
Shady Side.
Gina.
B.A. Corpse.
B.A. Corpse is correct.
It's 1-0 for Gina, and I don't think I'd like to go to that high school. Gina now controls the question as well.
Gina.
Yeah.
What did Cindy type on the computer to summon the police? What was her message to call the police? Was it 1, the killer's in the house? 2, white woman in trouble? 3, can you bring some donuts? 4, I've fallen and I can't get up.
White woman in trouble.
Wow.
That's 2-0 for Gina, a commanding lead. But, Brad, you have a chance to climb back into the game.
Brad?
All right.
What is the book that Cindy is reading? Is it 1, Harry Pothead? 2, Board of the Rings? 3, The Gay Gatsby? Or 4, The I'm Really Hungry Games?
The Gay Gatsby.
Incorrect, Gina.
I don't know.
A. A, Harry Pothead?
Yeah. Oh, that was a total guess.
Well, Gina sweeps the game.
Wow.
Brad almost didn't get a chance to say anything. And now you'll be
I guess I gotta go rewatch those movies.
Yeah.
You'll be enjoying delicious Lehigh Bakery donuts, and poor Brad will go home empty-handed.
People shouldn't expect me to do that again. That was a
That may never happen.
No.
You whipped him like a souffle.
Hang on, Brad. All right.
I'm going. Goodbye.
You're just out of here?
Yes.
You can't leave until I turn the music down.
Oh, you're right. I can't.
I'm
trying to.
It's like a Doctor Strange spell.
I'm trying to, but I can't leave.
Tell me the truth, Gina. You guessed on all of those.
Totally guessed.
I knew you didn't see those movies. I just knew it. Okay, Johnny, you're free.
Thank you.
You're released. All right, 6:36. Let's get to some big boy news and opinioendo, full strength edition, brought to you by
Fink and McGregor. Mortgages made simple. Call Fink and McGregor today for your free mortgage analysis. 801-264-9494. That's 801-264-9494.
Did you guys talk about Paris Hilton yesterday at all?
Yep.
A little bit.
Oh, okay. I won't talk about her. American Utopia. Is that the show that you saw, Carrie?
Yes.
You saw that live, right?
I saw that here at the Capitol Theater, yeah.
That is now going to be on the TV. The upcoming production filmed version of the Broadway show, featuring David Byrne's music from throughout his career. The film is directed by Spike Lee. Also included will be music from Byrne's time with Talking Heads and a cover of Janelle Monáe's Hell You Tombout. The video, there's a minute-long video that shows clips from the performers and fronted by Byrne. All appear barefoot, all are in gray suits. Despite all that's happened, despite all that's still happening, there's still possibility, David Byrne says. The musician's voiceover adds a quote from James Baldwin on the preview. Mm-hmm. I still believe that we can do with this country something that has not been done before. And it looks to be, and you could speak to it, Carrie, very upbeat and very
it
positive.
Was great. Very positive. Such a good show, as you can see on the trailer there, if you find it. It's a concert, but it's not at the same time.
There's a lot of choreography and a lot of staging.
None of the performers are, sitting in a drum kit or anything like that. They all have their instruments with them, and they're all wireless. And so there's a lot of, some just minor lighting effects. The entire stage setup is a giant chain curtain that goes all around the stage. And so people can, zip in and out, and it's, kind of like magic, and they dance around. And just a one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
That'll be coming to HBO in October, so it'll be great to see. The Food and Drug Administration on Sunday gave emergency approval for expanded use of antibody-rich plasma to help hospitalized coronavirus patients, allowing President Trump, who has been pressuring the agency to move faster to address the pandemic, to claim progress on the eve of the Republican convention. This is progress. The FDA has finally said, "Okay, we'll try something that has no basis in any kind of proof that it works, but we'll allow it. We'll allow it to be tried. It doesn't. There's no proof that it works at all." Trump cited the approval, which had been held up by concerns among top government scientists about the data behind it, as welcome news in fighting a disease that has led to 176,000 deaths now in the United States and left the nation lagging far behind most others in the effectiveness of its response. At a news briefing, he described the treatment as a powerful therapy made possible by marshaling the full power of the federal government. Well, Dr. Anthony Fauci says... Hold on there.
Yeah. Well, there's a story, I think it's in the New York Times this morning, about how the administration has grossly and manipulated the information. And then there was one of his cabinet people that went to the head of the FDA and a bunch of people in a room and yelled at them and said, "You're all deep state, and you'd all better get on Trump time."
Get on Trump time,
Get on Trump time, yeah.
Two physicians at the front line of Utah's coronavirus pandemic talked about the potential benefits of this blood plasma thing from recovered patients, and they're worried that the studies here at the University of Utah could be impaired by wider use of that treatment. The Food and Drug Administration said that, okay, they should said to doctors, go ahead and try it, but the order bypassed much of the scientific rigor that typically comes with governmental approval. Some of that rigor is due to happen at the University of Utah. We don't have the most robust data to know if convalescent plasma works, said Dr. Emily Spivak, Associate Professor of Medicine in Infectious Diseases at the University of Utah. Spivak acknowledged there is some promising early data, but said controlled studies, including those comparing the plasma to a placebo, are needed to determine if plasma is effective and for which patients it might be effective. At the moment, the data is showing patients who receive plasma are only small percentage points more likely to survive the virus than those who didn't get plasma.
Time. Science needs to take time, and you got to wait for all the data.
This is not a slam dunk cure-all, she said. Now they have a study set up to look at this, and this approval is just going to throw a big monkey wrench in that scientific study. Here in Utah, another 249 COVID cases, an average 7-day average of 350 new cases, but there were only 1,518 tests reported since Sunday.
There's a backlog somewhere.
A fraction of the state's capacity for about 9,000. Well, there's a backlog because there may be a backlog because maybe Governor Herbert would like the figures to look better. He'd like things to look a little better. So, if we just slow down that testing a little bit,
you're not wrong.
I know. Slow down the testing just a little bit, and then things will look better. Let's see. Governor Herbert was in St. George yesterday. I guess flooding. The state of emergency was
Bad
declared.
flooding there.
Apparently, the heavy rains flooded Interstate 15, caused several sinkholes, stalling cars and leaving roads littered with debris. I had the opportunity to visit today with St. George officials to survey the damage caused by severe thunderstorms, Governor Herbert said. Response teams have done a tremendous job of responding to the flooding and enabling roads to be reopened. Video from the National Weather Service in Las Vegas showed a car stalled in water at least a foot deep on I-15 at Dixie Drive in St. George. Fires and protesting in Kenosha, Wisconsin. An afternoon that had begun with peaceful marches in protest of a police shooting gave way to fires, destruction, and looting in Kenosha as a strip of businesses in a central residential neighborhood were consumed in flames early Tuesday. Residents emerged from their homes around midnight to gape at the billowing smoke that could be seen for miles. This is in response to the horrific-looking shooting of a man in Kenosha. He was, and you probably all have seen it, he was being followed by police as he went to his car. Now he was, I don't know, he was not apparently heeding their commands to do whatever to stop or to, but he was walking purposely to his car. His kids were in the car, and he started to get in the car. One of the cops reached in and was pulling on his shirt. He was wearing just a tank top undershirt type thing. And then all of a sudden the police start firing into the car and shot him like 9 times in the back. 7 times.
7
like
times.
7 times.
A lot.
And
7
his,
more
his
than
kids,
necessary.
His kids are there, and
Yeah.
he's not dead, miraculously,
Mm-hmm.
amazingly. He is in the hospital. He's in obviously extremely critical condition. But it looks to all appearances, it is an awful shooting that didn't have to be done.
Didn't have to happen. They could have tasered him. Something.
Scott Peterson's death sentence has been overturned, Gina.
He's not getting out of prison. It's just that. But actually, this is worse. He can just, because he's a young guy. He'll be in prison for a long time.
People magazine has confirmed the California Supreme Court has reversed Peterson's death penalty conviction and ordered a new sentencing trial for him. Now
It's
that doesn't
sentencing,
mean
it's not guilt.
can't he be sentenced to death again? I mean, couldn't they say?
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, the court decision does not overturn the murder conviction. Allows prosecutors to try. It allows prosecutors to try again for the death penalty. Peterson contends that his trial was flawed for multiple reasons. He, of course, was convicted of murdering his 8 months pregnant wife, Lacey Peterson, when she disappeared from their home on Christmas Eve day in 2002. Her body was found in April of 2003 in San Francisco Bay. Peterson claimed that Lacey was killed as she walked the couple's dog after Peterson left to go solo fishing trip on Christmas Eve morning. No, I was fishing. I was fishing.
By myself, with no witnesses. I was fishing.
On Christmas Eve morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Republican convention got underway yesterday, and what an S show.
Do you have some audio, Carrie?
I do not.
Oh.
Let me look again.
I wanted
here.
Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Some of the big stars, some big Hollywood stars were there. Scott Baio was there, and John Voight.
John Voight.
Let's see. The guy who's running against Ben McAdams was scheduled to speak. I don't know if he did yesterday or what's his name?
Burgess Owens.
Burgess Owens. He's supposed to speak. Probably as he'll do the QAnon message for everybody.
Yes. The build the wall, raise the money.
And basically, they were screaming that the Democrats, if you vote for Democrats, put the Democrats into office, they will make you leave your homes. They'll take away your guns, or if they don't make you leave your homes, they're going to have MS-13 gangs live next door to you. All the Democrats want is rioting in the streets. They won't let you go to church anymore. They actually said these things.
Yeah.
They didn't say they're trying to destroy religion. They won't let you go to church anymore if you vote for them. They will take away your guns. They will burn down your neighborhoods and your houses. The Democrats will do this if you vote for them. Because what the Democrats want is rioting in the streets. Democrats want rioting in the streets because it's good for everyone, Gina. Rioting in the streets is good for everyone.
I don't understand why
they don't want to help stop the spread of COVID. The Democrats, and furthermore, there's a Democratic asteroid heading to the Earth right now. An asteroid could hit the Earth on 2020, the day before the presidential election.
Perfect.
And if it does, it's a Democrat asteroid. Remember that.
Okay.
If it hits, it's a Democrat asteroid.
Leaders and fighters for freedom and liberty and the American dream, the best is yet to come.
God.
Crickets.
Well, there's nobody there. She's just yelling, and there's no one.
It's just, and she just looks so frightening.
Yeah.
And
Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida, you remember him.
Oh, he's a peach.
Here's what he said if Biden gets elected. The Democrats will disarm you. They will empty the prisons. They will lock you in your home.
Lock you in.
And
yeah.
And then invite MS-13 gang members to live next door to you.
So it's pretty much a greatest hits album.
It's worse.
They've been saying all of these things for years. It's just they're louder now.
And it's somehow more direct. It's not implied anymore.
Yeah.
They would imply these things in the past. Now they're just saying out and out. And it makes them, to me, sound stupid.
Yeah.
It makes them sound stupid.
Yeah, but why doesn't it sound that way to other people? How do other people watch that and go, yeah, that's what you said. I'm with you. I'm voting for you.
And there are people who are like that. But they're running a risk doing this, too, because there are people who have the tendency to want to support Trump or at least want to support Republicans who probably listen to that and go, wait a minute, that's a little over the top, isn't it?
No, I didn't watch any of it because, well, I've already made up my mind. And I noticed this morning on Twitter that cocaine was trending. And so I went down that hole, and everyone is convinced. Everyone is convinced that Don Jr. was high on cocaine.
I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how you. I don't know enough about cocaine to know it when I see it.
Gina, it might have been his bleary eyes and there were these big white stains under each nostril. I don't know. Apparently, it will be the end of civilization as we know it if you elect Democrats.
Here's a texter, Gina. They've built up this Democrat boogeyman that wants to take your 401k, according to my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm. Mike Lee, Utah's very own Mike Lee, answered the roll call of states at the GOP convention to proudly and energetically cast all 40 Utah Republican delegate votes for Trump.
He's not going to put you in the Supreme Court, Mike. You can keep trying. He's not going to.
Here's how he did it. He tried to have a little fun, a little humor. And if you watch him, there's video of him doing this. Mike Lee is so uncomfortable in his own body, it's frightening. He's trying to be a stand-up comedian, and he says, in the state of Utah, we introduce the world to the Frisbee, to fry sauce, and to fake swear words, including fetch, flip, and freak. And in Utah, we love the Founding Fathers. And we love the idea of 4 more years.
What?
This is the man who would not vote for Donald Trump last time.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to get Ted Cruz up in place of Trump at the convention, and said he would and then he cast his vote for McMullen as a protest against Donald Trump because he couldn't stand Trump.
Yep.
But now he's all in.
It's a cult. It's a cult.
Well. Let's see. How much time do we have here?
One more quick story.
Let's take a look at this and do something a little happier, a little more fun. This is a story I had last week, and I never got to it. A Washington State Library's mystery section was found to contain a real-life mystery.
Ooh.
So they were going to do a remodel of the part of the library that had all the mystery novels in it, and there was a cornered panel that they removed, and they were going to kind of remodel it and build onto it. And behind this panel at the Walla Walla Public Library in Washington, they found a cache of, well, it was a disintegrated paper bag, and inside the bag, 5 unopened cans of Ham's beer and an opened package of Godzilla Heads gum. Now, library officials did their research and determined that Godzilla Heads gum dates from the 1980s, and the Ham's beer cans don't include any health warnings that were required from 1988 on, so the stash is probably more than 30 years old. It looks like they said somebody stashed it there and thought maybe they would come back for it later. 5 cans of beer and Godzilla. I don't remember Godzilla Heads gum.
I don't remember.
I remember Ham's beer.
That's still around. But so I thought it's just an interesting little cache. They don't know why it was there or how it got there or who, but I wonder who put it there, and
I want the story.
And why didn't they ever come back for their beer and gum? That's what I want to know. So there you go.
All right. Sports weather traffic.
RSL is back, and X96 wants to send you to Rio Tinto on August 26th to watch Real Salt Lake take on Los Angeles Football Club. We're able to get our hands on some of the exclusive tickets to see the game live, so you need to get your hands on a family 4-pack. Go to x96.com for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets. Each ticket comes with a Real Salt Lake face mask. Rio Tinto has taken extra precautions to ensure all fans stay healthy and safe. Get your tickets and enter to win at x96.com. The Jazz lead the series 3-1 in the bubble, and they play today at 4:30 against the Denver Nuggets. And the Utes, even though they're not playing football, it's very exciting. They're ranked 22nd in the AP Top 25 Football Poll. They don't even have to do anything. They don't have to play football. They're ranked. It's kind of odd.
What'll happen, though, is when some teams do start to play, like BYU is going to play, those rankings will just all drop away.
Yeah. It doesn't. It doesn't matter this year. It doesn't matter. Weather. Yeah, you may have heard some rain last night. Yes, it did. Thunderstorms a little bit. And you'll have another chance of that tonight. Mostly sunny. Chance of thunderstorms this evening and overnight. High around 97. Traffic has been very light this morning. I have no accidents to tell you about. Nobody sent anything in via text. Maybe you see something. Well, if you see something, say something and text it to us, 33986.
All right, we will take a break, and we'll be back. Boners round 1 coming up, and maybe Utah word of the day. We'll see. We'll see how we feel after these messages. Stand by. UtahAdvocates.com.
The advocates, some of the virus restrictions have been lifted, and the advocates know that there will be now more people traveling. Towing trailers and the like, and going out and trying to get out a little bit, which I certainly noticed when I was traveling over the weekend, just going up to Logan. A lot of people with travel trailers and that, and there are going to be more accidents. And hopefully you will not be involved in one of those. But if you are, please, the advocates can help you. If you're injured in an accident and it's due to somebody else's negligence, you should not be stuck with all the headaches of insurance hassles and all of that. Let the advocates do it for you. They're personal injury attorneys, and they do a very good job of taking care of their clients. If you call the advocates at 801-355-5550, you'll get an attorney on the line immediately, And you can also do it by going to their website, utawadvocates.com.
Stay.
Century, humans have left the lonely confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the entire galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders!
Today, we join our missionaries as they land on a remote planet called Triskelion.
Hey, Lehi, ever wonder where Zone Leader Hansen finds planets no one has ever heard of to send us to?
Well, I'm sure these folks just call the 1-800-Subspace channel and request visits by missionaries.
Well, we've been on Triskelion for over a minute now, and no one's made an attempt on our lives. I'd say so far so good.
Well, these are the agreed-upon coordinates. We were supposed to wait here for them to contact us.
What the flip?
Hey, where are we now?
You are in a cavern miles below the surface of Triskelion.
Looky, Butch, disembodied brains. Who are you guys?
We are the providers. 200 quatlus for the tall one. 300 quatlus for the tall one.
Excuse me, providers. I'm Lehi Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
500 quatlus for Elder Jensen.
As I was saying, we represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
600 quatlus for Elder Jensen.
We was wondering if you had heard of our church and if you'd like to hear more.
700 quatlus for Elder Jensen, and I'll let you have the fat one for free.
Hey, wait just a minute. Missionaries come in pairs. You can't split us up. We are a package deal.
Okay. 800 quatlus for both of the Mormons. That's my final offer.
Did we just get sold to that glowing brain under the glass doodad over there?
That's what it sounded like. We'd better get to the bottom of this.
Excuse me. It's me over here, Lehi.
You know, the fat one.
But you're not helping.
Sorry.
If you brains are done talking amongst yourselves, we'd just like to talk to you about joining our faith.
Silence! You are now a drill thrall. You will fight in the arena for our amusement until you are dead.
I don't like the looks of this.
Come on, don't be such a wussy. We have these big stick thingies to defend ourselves with, and our opponent is a scantily clad woman with big breasts. Come on, lady, take your best shot. Ow! Hey, I wasn't ready. Try that again, I dare you. Ow!
Hey, that's gonna leave a mark. Hey, provider guys, care to make a new wager?
300 quatlus on the missionaries. 400 quatlus on the scantily clad woman with big breasts.
How would you like to wager your eternal souls?
Make this good, or we will teleport you onto the surface of Triskelion's sun.
Okay, here's the deal. If we win, we get to go free, and you donate 1,000 quatlus to the LDS Church Missionary Program. We lose, and we will remain drill thralls and fight for your amusement.
I don't know. That's a lot of quatlus.
Well, you chicken?
You have a wager. You two against all of the other drill thralls.
Oh, well, it was nice knowing you, Lehi.
Don't sweat it, Butch. I got a plan. Is this the end of Butch and Lehi? Will they spend the rest of their very short lives as drill thralls? Can quatlus be used to pay tithing? How exactly would you baptize a disembodied brain anyway? Tune in next time to hear Lehi say, "Put down your stick, Butch, and follow my lead."
Wait, but we couldn't take a prissy girl thrall, and you think we can take on all them without weapons?
Trust me. Excuse me, drill thralls. I'm Elder Christiansen of the LDS Church. My companion, Elder Jensen,
Hi.
and I were wondering if you'd like to learn more about the Mormon Church.
Hey, where's everybody going?
Foul! You cheated! I demand a rematch!
On the next eye-gouging episode of Space Elders.
All right, 7:04. And, it's we're broadcasting live. X96.com/live. You can watch us. And you got the split screen kind of thing going there.
Gina, you said early this morning, before we went on, we've got so much going on the show today. I won't have time to talk about, and I don't know what it was. But what was it?
Well, we're supposed to do you till word of the day here, though.
Well, whatever.
We don't have to.
We don't have to do that. I mean, we can just say that Ran Life, who sponsors the Utah Word of the Day, we could just pretend that they sponsored it. They're fetching easy. Those flipping guys at Ran Life, they don't care.
Your local mortgage experts, the knowledgeable team that'll help you find the lowest fetching rates available.
Greg
Easy,
and Gar,
streamlined e-close experience, ranlife.com. That's what you're talking about?
They're my mortgage company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those guys, they don't give a fudge if we do it or not today. So what was it that you wanted to talk about?
So, Festus joined the Navy.
That's your son.
My son, Festus.
We set these things occasionally because can you imagine a new listener just listening in and says, well, so Festus joined the Navy. And they say, well, this must be an old folks show. I'm going to move on.
No, stick around. He's only 22. He's a young person.
The story of Festus joining the Navy. Well, never mind.
My son Festus joined the Navy. And he joined the Navy in the COVID times, which means when you join the Navy, they quarantine you for 2 weeks to make sure you don't have the COVID before you move on to the next part of boot camp. So
where you'll get it.
So for 2 weeks, in a hotel room with 2 other guys, you cannot leave the hotel room. Can I walk down the hall to the vending machine? No. Can I go down to the gym? No.
Wait a minute.
Can I walk out?
Wait a minute.
You are in the room.
Wait a minute. Does he say, so if his Navy commanders say to him, you may not leave that room for any reason whatsoever, does he then stand there and go, well, can I go to the vending machine? No. Well, can I go to the... No. Well, can I go to the... No.
I'm just making the point for that.
I see.
Because when you say, you have to stay in a room with people. No, literally...
He probably said, yes, sir, I promise I won't leave the room.
You put your laundry in the hall, and then they bring it back clean. They deliver the food to you 2 weeks.
Wow.
What if I don't like the food?
Now, his wife and I have been waiting for a letter or a phone call, which he's not allowed to do any of those things while he's in quarantine, to let us know that he's moving from that to the next step. And he left 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone says no news is good news, meaning if he had tested positive for COVID, they would have called you and sent him home. Now, if he tested positive for COVID, that's it. Even if he's asymptomatic, they send you home and say, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want you in the Navy because the government doesn't know what long-term effects of just testing positive for COVID are, and they don't want to be responsible for your health.
Didn't you say to the Navy, well, if he tests positive for COVID, I don't want him home?
Yeah, keep him.
You keep him there.
Keep him.
Or just send him somewhere else.
So we've been waiting, but also kind of feeling good that, well, we haven't heard anything, so that must be good. So last night I get a call from his wife, and she's crying, and I'm like, oh no, what? Oh, what? No. And she said, well, I'm crying because he called, and it's the first time I've talked to him in 3 weeks, which was wonderful. I haven't heard from him in 3 weeks. She said, the good news is I heard from him. The bad news is his roommate tested positive for COVID.
Oh, no.
So they tested Festus again, and he was negative, but, you know, you can test negative and then be positive 2 days later.
Did they ask the roommate if he'd been to the vending machine? Did you go to the vending machine?
So he's negative, at least for now, but he has to do another 2-week quarantine. So this will be a month in a hotel room, and he can't do anything.
He
can't have
TV?
A phone.
He can watch TV.
Can't, no.
What?
He can't watch. No.
What?
No.
What?
Hotel rooms have TVs and phones.
So here's what I'm getting at. So his wife said, we can finally send him letters, which are his only entertainment. We can send him letters. I said, can I send him a book? No. They have books they bring around that they can read. It's like prison.
Wow.
Like, bring the card around with the book. Would you like one of the books on the card?
What is the rationale behind not being able to watch TV?
Bill, this is the military. You're not there to lay around and watch TV. They work out.
You're there to lay around and look at the ceiling and work out.
And we haven't even been able to send him a letter. So he's in a different quarantine. He's not in the hotel quarantine. He's like on base quarantine, which is why there's no TV and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But she said he's desperate for news. He has no idea what's going on in the world, and he's used to working, at Fox News and knowing what's going on. And she said he wants me to write him letters and tell him what's happening in the world. And
don't.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
But I want
to
to try to find him like silly news stories to send him. And I want to. I'm going to put it out to.
the world has had enough of silly love.
I'm going to put it out to friends of the program. If you email me a message for Festus, a letter for Festus, I will print them out and send them to him. Because this is all he has for entertainment for the next 2 weeks. So Gina at x96.com, if you have a letter for Festus in the Navy, email me. I will print it out and mail it to him.
Why don't you, or if you have a vending machine, send him a vending machine. Because if there's one right there in the room, you don't have to go down the hall.
But it's horrible because this has tacked a whole month on where he's not even really started boot camp yet.
There's several messages coming in. If Cheeseball TV has taught me anything, Festus has been abducted for illegal military experiments. I'm having mission PTSD from this story.
Mission?
Yeah, I guess it is kind of like that, huh?
Steph says, there's TV in prison.
Yeah.
So it's worse than prison.
I think they just, and someone points out they don't want him watching CNN, and I think that's...
I'm sure that's, I don't know.
Might be something, I don't know.
I was surprised when his wife said it's driving him crazy not knowing what's going on in the world. Please when you write him a letter, write little news tidbits so he knows what's going on.
Let's send him the story about the asteroid, the Democrat asteroid that's headed toward Earth on Election Day.
Excellent example.
Okay.
And here's my favorite text out of all of them. Can you smoke? Please tell me he can smoke. For crying out loud.
Yeah. Well, I bet he can't.
No, so it's
Probably
worse
not.
than prison.
Probably not.
I don't even know if you can. You still? I guess you can smoke in prison if you go outside.
No, I don't think you can.
I think you can outside.
No, I think they stopped letting you smoke at all.
I think they give you a nicotine patch.
They couldn't do that.
I think they do.
Let's see. Isn't the point of boot camp to break you down? This would absolutely contribute to that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. I said, can I send him books? No book. Can I send him across? No. So
we have plenty of Ayn Rand he can read.
Send him. I'll send him all the scripts for Utah Word of the Day.
There you go.
I've got a whole file of scripts from Utah Word of the Day. There's like 40 of them.
Absolutely perfect. Just box them up.
Yep. I'll just attach all of them to an email, and
I like that.
Oh, you have to print them up, huh? You can't get email.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'll send them to you, Gina. You print them.
I'll
up
print them
and send him one a day.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. You can't wait to find out what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. Traffic, Gina, please.
Yeah. So roads are wet up in Logan. Through Sardine Canyon, there's spray kicking up from tires. Boy, it's been a long time since we've seen something like that. That's kind of nice for a change. But no accidents to tell you about so far. And let me check our message stream. Nobody sent anything in there. No, Festus can't have treats. We can't send treats.
No.
Letters, pieces of paper only. That's it.
You heard the vending machine story. No treats.
If you see some traffic, though, please send it to us, and I will pass it along to friends of the program, 33986. During the month of August, Scott Hale is offering a $39 AC tune-up. Call Scott Hale, 801-264-HALE.
All right. We got Boners Round 1 coming up after these.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, let me give you the candidates here. I've already got them set up. Let me go here. Okay, here it is. Boner candidate number 1 will be, it's okay. These days my fingers always taste like hand sanitizer anyway. Boner candidate number 2, firebugs in Utah. And boner candidate number 3, no mask Monday.
All right, we got round 1 of your boners, big boy news, all coming up after these. Stand by. Gina, Volkswagen Southtown.
Yeah, all this talk about Festus makes me sad. We used to share the Volkswagens at Volkswagen Southtown.
Send
And the
him a
last
Volkswagen.
the last one we shared was a Passat. You know, he bought one right before he left for his wife. He was so sold on the great cars they have at Volkswagen Southtown. He bought one. He listened to his own ads. He believed his own copy. And I'll tell you right now why you should get one. Right now at Volkswagen Southtown, they have 0% APR for up to 6 years on every remaining 2020 Volkswagen, or you can get 0 payments for 4 months on any new car. Get to the 0 zone at VWSouthtown.com. Interest rates have never been lower. You can trade in your car, and Volkswagen Southtown will get you the original base MSRP for it. Volkswagen Southtown has a great selection of used cars as well, all makes and models. Upgrade your car to a newer, better one at Volkswagen Southtown. They're just off 106 South on I-15, but you can always start your shopping at VWSouthtown.com.
Stay.
Now, I saw this story today, and
Is that the one I was going to mention earlier?
The headline is, Creator of the Labradoodle calls it Frankenstein's monster.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. This was my dog. His name was Tippy.
Now, I know a Labradoodle.
I know several.
That is a lovely dog.
I know several Labradoodles.
Okay.
Or golden doodles. That's another kind of doodle. But this is
maybe this is a golden doodle, I know.
This is the Labradoodle specifically. I'll read you this. An Australian man who created the world's first Labradoodle says he regrets creating the popular hybrid breed, claiming in a recent interview that the majority of the dogs are, quote, either crazy or have hereditary problems. Wally Conran bred the first Labradoodle, a cross between a poodle and a Labrador retriever, in 1989 for a blind woman who couldn't have a guide dog because her husband was allergic to the dog hair.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Fast forward 3 decades, which I didn't realize they'd been around that long, but the Labradoodle's become one of the most popular mixed breed dogs in the world, a fact that doesn't sit so well with the man who made them. I opened Pandora's box and released the Frankenstein's monster, said Conran. He fears people are overbreeding the dog, creating versions of their own, including Groodles.
What's that?
Well, this says golden retrievers and poodles. I always thought that was a
I thought that's
golden
a
doodle.
Golden doodle.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's Groodle. Golden doodle sounds better, but
Spoodles.
Spaniel poodle.
Spaniel poodle.
Spoodles.
I find the biggest majority are crazy or have hereditary problems. I have met some damn nice Labradoodles, but they're few and far between. He spent 3 years trialing more than 30 poodles as guide dogs because their hair was hypoallergenic, but they didn't have the right temperament. They're damn cute dogs.
They are.
So
I wish they would do one that tastes like cotton candy.
But they're everywhere. They are.
Well, and apparently we haven't known that they're crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the one I know, I don't know him well, but it belongs to Luba and Dome. His name is Leo because he looks like a lion.
Is he? So I think he's a golden doodle.
Maybe so. He's got floppy ears. I'm looking at pictures here. I don't know. They look sort of the same to me. But he's got that curly hair though.
Well, that's the poodle. That's the oodle part of it.
The oodle.
That's why they do it. Is they don't shed, and usually poodles are good for people.
I don't remember which one he is, but he's a very nice dog.
But I want to say on the record that I don't go for the doodle.
No doodle?
No,
You don't like the doodles?
I have a golden retriever. I have the old school dog. I don't cotton to the mixing of oodles and doodles.
Are you a racist?
No,
You're a
I'm
racist. This is misogynist. You're a misogynist. That's what you are. You don't believe in mixing of the races.
I'm a Goldist.
Hannah says, Labradoodles are so hyper, they chew on everything. My friend's Labradoodle chewed up a medical pill bottle, and their cat ate the pills and died.
Now,
See, they are crazy.
Now, this Labradoodle, I guess he is, Leo, he does like to chew stuff, but they have plenty of chew toys there for him. And he's very well behaved.
Ooh, I had a golden doodle, and it had a lot of health issues. I had to put it down in the end. So sad.
And I think part of the problem is they're overbreeding them now because they're super and you can get the minis.
Oh, see, now that's more my
the mini.
Yeah,
Well,
I like little dogs.
Yeah.
Playing God though.
Yep.
Hey, it is 7:20 right now, and it is time for round one of your boners for today. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst and therefore most deserving to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, yeah, it secures a spot in Boner Dome, but it'll have to defeat the winner of round 2's voting. At 8:20, we present 3 more, 3 different candidates. We get a winner there. We take the winner of each round and put them against each other. At 9:20 this morning is when you will decide boner of the day with Boner Fight. Right now, you're going to choose the champion for round 1. Send it forward. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you will vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it, gotta win it, pick it up eventually. Radio from Hell boner t-shirt.
Here's boner candidate number 1. Oh, it's okay. These days my fingers always taste like hand sanitizer anyway. This is so stupid. Colonel Sanders will no longer be hawking his secret recipe for fried chicken. His finger licking good. KFC says they're suspending the slogan after 64 years. Why? Because of coronavirus. The move came Monday.
You shouldn't be licking your fingers these days. This is responsible.
Nearly 6 months after the novel coronavirus started sweeping the globe, health officials started urging people to stop touching their face to slow the spread. KFC says finger licking doesn't feel quite right in today's environment and is dropping the slogan in many countries. First of all, I would say, did this phrase finger licking good sound quite right in any sense, anytime, anyway? Did it really? Across the pond in the United Kingdom and Ireland, KFC is simply blurring out the finger licking part of the slogan on the bucket of chicken. They're not getting rid of it, they're blurring it out so that you can fondly kind of remember and maybe signifying that it might come back.
I wish it still were called Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Exactly. That was a big mistake, too.
Not KFC. It is fried chicken. Don't be ashamed to say that it's fried chicken. It's fried chicken.
And it is, whether you like it or not, a great slogan. It is finger licking good.
Now, I haven't had KFC in ages, but isn't it on the packaging, like on the bucket?
Yeah. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
And they're going to blur it out. They're going to blur that out over in England and Ireland. I think they're just going to take it off entirely.
What, with like a magic marker?
They'll just make it look blurry when they print them.
That's
I don't know why. To kind of remind you of what. But it's just dumb. It's a great old slogan. You should just stick with it. If you are. Now let's be serious about it for a second. If you get your bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and then you go to the sink, and you wash your hands thoroughly, as the CDC suggests,
Mm-hmm.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. For that length of time that you're supposed to wash your hands and clean them.
Mm-hmm.
Then presumably you can eat your chicken with your fingers and lick your fingers. Boner candidate number 1. It's okay. These days my fingers taste like hand sanitizer anyway. Here's boner candidate number 2. Firebugs in Utah. Although lightning storms across central and southern Utah sparked numerous fires over the past few days, human-caused fires dominate wildfire statistics in Utah in 2020. Human-caused. According to Utah Forestry, Fire, and State Lands, as of August 23rd, nearly 196,000 acres have burned across the state of Utah. The amount of fire starts are relatively comparable to 2018, which is touted as Utah's busiest fire season. Human-caused fires have amounted to 77% of all fires in Utah so far in 2020. We're still having an all-time high of human-caused fire starts in Utah this year, said Kate Webb with Utah Forestry, Fire, and State Lands. We had a very busy year in 2018. There were a lot of fires and some very memorable large fires, so it was a very busy season. This year, so far, we're about comparable, just behind on total starts compared to 2018. But again, we're still well ahead in human-caused starts of fires as a total. Now, part of it is abandoned campfires, and part of it is just people setting fires.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of it's fireworks, too.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's throwing a cigarette out the window, and sometimes it's very accidental human-caused fire, a spark from your car, from the road that sparks a fire on the side of the road or something. Boner candidate number 2, 77%. Firebugs in Utah. I would maintain you could probably cut that in half if people weren't just weren't negligent about it. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, No Mask Monday.
All right, boner candidate number 3 for round 1. Coming up after this, big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Department of Workforce Services has thousands of jobs to fill. They're hosting a virtual job fair on Thursday, August 27th, 10 to 1. Part-time, full-time telework positions are available. Register in advance at jobs.utah.gov.
Tragedy. He was one of a kind. Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist has died at the age of 64. Jack Sherman, he was at one time a Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist. They confirmed Sherman's passing in a statement posted to Instagram. We of the Red Hot Chili Peppers family would like to wish Jack Sherman smooth sailing into the worlds beyond, for he has passed. Jack played on our debut album as well as our first tour of the USA. He was a unique dude, and we thank him for all the good times, bad and in between. Peace on the boogie platform, they said. Sherman joined the Chili Peppers in 1983, replacing the band's founding guitarist Hillel Slovak. He played on the band's 1984 self-titled debut and then co-wrote a majority of the songs on their 1985 follow-up album Freaky Styley. However, prior to the release of Freaky Styley, Sherman was fired so that Hillel Slovak could come back to the band. But I guess there wasn't a tremendous... there was some animosity there. He felt bad about it. He felt as though he should have continued to contribute to the band.
Well, and he was always mad because he wasn't included in the
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because he did have quite a, he had a lot to do with the founding of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And John Carpenter is talking about doing a reboot of The Thing. And it looks like it might happen. He's working on The Thing with Blumhouse Films, and I think that would be exciting to see. Now, I don't think he would direct it.
He would just produce it. It's in the maybe stages right now.
Yeah,
they're trying to work out the deal.
The Thing from Another World, the daddy of all science fiction monster movies. It was based on a book, as I recall, called Who Goes There? And of course, there was the original black and white version, which I have a fondness for, with James Arness as the giant carrot monster. But John Carpenter's remake of that was just excellent, just one of the great movies. Children born at high altitudes may be stunted in growth. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mom. New study shows that children born at high altitudes are more likely to be short, to have stunted growth, than kids born closer to sea level. So thanks a lot, Mom, for living in Utah. Thank you. Well, this is something we can be proud of. For the third year in a row, Utah has been named the worst state for women's equality, and it continues to lag far behind the state that's ranked at 49th.
We're number one.
Idaho. And we're way behind Idaho even.
How can we be behind Idaho?
Wallet Hub released its 2020 Best and Worst States for Women Equality on Monday, evaluating states on workplace environment, education, health, and political empowerment. There was a nearly 50-point gap in the total scores between the top state, Hawaii, at 75.13, and Utah's score of 25.74. It's not shocking to see Utah in last place again, said Susan Madsen, founder and director of Utah Women in Leadership Project at Utah State University. But it's a little disappointing. If we still do the same things we've been doing, Utah won't see any big changes in these types of rankings, she said. There have to be serious efforts and initiatives supported by government and business leaders to analyze the underlying issues. If we don't get more vocal on these things and have women and men stand up and say, it's time to make changes, Madsen said, things aren't going to change anytime soon.
And yet, if you go up to the legislature and talk to any Republican member of the legislature and say, don't you think we ought to pass the Equal Rights Amendment? They'll say, no need.
Oh,
no, it's not necessary.
Things are fine.
It's not necessary.
Well,
then indulge me. Go ahead and pass it. If it won't do anything like you think, let's just do it then.
Did you guys talk about the Utah Attorney General yesterday postponing the child exploitation and human trafficking awareness rally that they had planned? They were going to do it Saturday in Salt Lake, but questions were raised about one of the event's organizers. So the office announced the decision Friday night, a little more than 12 hours before the Freedom for Children event was scheduled to begin, citing questions about association with other human trafficking events that were being held the same day. It said the event wouldn't take place for several weeks to prevent public confusion with unassociated agendas and political causes. The office had promoted the event, which included a march and a slate of speakers, earlier Friday on social media platforms. On Twitter, it posted, that is it, meaning the Attorney General's office, Sean Reyes' office, join us in raising awareness for human trafficking and child exploitation tomorrow at Liberty Park in Salt Lake. Our office will join speakers in highlighting trauma-informed recovery legislation, law enforcement roles, resources, and stories from survivors. But then 2 hours afterward, the office was getting questions and responded, apparently trying to separate its event from the Save the Children movement, which recent reports have linked to QAnon.
Yes.
A far-right and unsubstantiated conspiracy theory. Now, the Attorney General's office said, well, we're not affiliated with that group, but another with a similar name and cause. We've been getting some questions about the event. The event is separate, not related to the Save the Children group. It's with Freedom for the Children. Well, Save the Children.
Odd. Yeah. But this was all planned on the same day, I would say.
Yeah. And Sean Reyes.
These were all over the country.
Yeah.
A little strange.
Yeah.
Sean Reyes is, of course, QAnon because he's such a Trumpkin. He's got to be. And the Save the Children.
I don't know
hijacked.
about that, Terry.
Well,
I don't know if Sean Reyes is QAnon.
He's not the actual QAnon then.
No,
right.
I don't know if he supports QAnon.
I don't know if he supports it, but, if you read it.
Okay.
You know.
I've never heard him say, I support QAnon.
Well, he would never say that out loud. But no, because he's been involved with this for about a year, and there was a fascinating study that they did about how did this QAnon thing take off and get so popular, and it all happened when Facebook changed their algorithms because they wanted you to participate in groups. So you'd join a group about wellness or something, and then that would shuffle you off to another group and then to another group, and then it made you go to a QAnon. If you clicked on the right things, it would get you there, and that's why it's so huge these days.
Jerry Falwell Jr. has resigned from the Liberty, or has he?
No.
Has he resigned from Liberty University?
No, he hasn't.
Well, he said that he was going to, and then he said, "Wait a minute." So he was uncertain whether he was going to resign. Falwell agreed to resign immediately as president of Liberty University, but then instructed his attorneys to not tender the letter for immediate resignation. According to a university news release distributed late Monday, news of Falwell's possible departure followed the publication of news stories about his wife's sexual encounters with a much younger business partner. They marked that Jerry Falwell Jr. liked to apparently observe. Mm-hmm. They marked the latest in a series of controversies related to the couple. I call upon the university community and supporters to be in prayer for the university and for all its leadership, past, present, and future, as we walk with the Lord through this stormy time of transition, said acting president Jerry Prevost. I had to be careful.
I know what you heard in your
head.
It's
Prevost.
I know.
It's Jerry Prevost.
You know what's the worst part about this? And, well, there's lots of bad things, but, and I've seen a bunch of this chatter going on like, well, it's people's private sexual lives, and if they're all adults, why are we making a big deal out of it? Because of what he does and what he preaches and makes, other people tell them what they're doing is bad. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. And he's doing it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Well, that university has their own kind of honor code.
Yeah.
That is, and they teach, one man for one woman, the whole thing. So yeah, we're going
That's
to.
That's what's bad about it.
Absolutely.
We're not kink shaming you. We're just saying you're a hypocrite. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Weather, traffic.
So it had a little storm overnight. Some people had some lightning, thunder, a little rain. That was kind of fun for a change. We might have that again today. Slight chance of that, only 20% though. Mostly sunny and a high of 97. Tomorrow we'll get rid of those chances for storms, and it'll just be sunny and 96. Traffic has been very light today. I have to go all the way to my ancestral home of Roy to find a crash. Southbound 1900 west, 4800 south. Let me check our message stream, see if anybody's sent anything in there. Let's see. Silver Avenue, definitely more congested with all these potential new COVID drivers heading to school, a friend of the program says. If you see some traffic, please text it to us at 33986, and I will pass it along. Join Sundance Institute for a special free online screening on August 31st featuring the punk rock rom-com Dinner in America from the 2020 Sundance Film Festival. Register at utah.sundance.org with promo code SundanceLocals.
Here's boner candidate number 3, No Mask Monday. Now, I don't know if it happened or not, but there's a group down in Washington County, St. George, and they want, because kids are going back to school, but they wanted all the kids to not wear masks on Monday to protest the mandatory masks in schools. No Mask Monday. That's what they were shooting for. Let's have No Mask Monday.
The parents, the adults.
These are the
that.
adults. These are the adults. However, I mean, on the plus side of this, now, that's the boner candidate.
Yeah.
That there are adults that want that. And I think that, I don't know if they'll continue to push for it next Monday or not. But there were kids who go to the schools there who said, I don't think we should do that. who were smarter than the adults.
Smarter than the adults.
So maybe it cancels the boner candidate out in a way. But these worried old adults that wearing a mask is an impingement on my freedom.
Here's a quote from one of the kids. I thought this was nice. She said, "We saw the class of 2020 how fast things we love can be taken away from us. We, of all people, should know that wearing masks isn't fun. Neither is wearing a seatbelt or a life jacket or pads for football. But we do all of these things so we can have a future." This is one of the kids that's saying that.
But some parents are saying, commit to No Mask Monday. Do not send your kids to school with a mask. They cannot suspend the whole student body.
I love this. That was her name was Dally Cobb. Good for you, Dally, for saying that. And she wasn't the only one. A bunch of them.
Yeah, a bunch of them. Boner candidate number 3, No Mask Monday.
All right, let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, that's okay, I guess. These days my fingers always taste like hand sanitizer anyway. KFC getting rid of or at least suspending their finger-licking good slogan due to the coronavirus. I guess they're suspending it. We may come back to it, but there you go. Boner candidate number 2, firebugs in Utah. 77% of the wildfires in Utah have been human-caused this year. And boner candidate number 3, No Mask Monday.
Okay, you've got to decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it'll go up against the winner of round 2. Round 2 happens at 8:20 with 3 different candidates. Take both of those winners and put them against each other. You will decide boner of the day at 9:20 this morning. So right now, our first step, send forward your first candidate. We need someone to win this round. 1, 2, or 3. Remember the candidate that you think should win. Put that number, that single digit is all that is necessary in the message of a text. And then text that to 33986. Or you can call 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. They'll take your vote in the producer's booth in Salt Lake. Or go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting August 25, 2020, and vote there. If you don't see the box, refresh. It should appear. But you have until the end of these messages to do so. This is round 1.
When Radio from Hell concludes...
So I saw this story, too, this morning, and it's did somebody break wind on the news?
It's what is that sound is what we're playing. It's a game.
So see if it sounds like that to you. This is during an interview with Democratic Representative, how do you say his name?
Swalwell.
Swalwell. He's on being interviewed by Chris Matthews on MSNBC, and you've got the audio.
I've got the audio. So we'll start off with Chris, and then he'll talk, and then you'll hear the fart during Eric Swalwell's response.
Who were on the phone listening to the president talk about this swap of dirt for U.S. military aid.
Chris, so far, the evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard...
Okay, one more time.
There we go.
Evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard...
Who were on the...
Now, so the internet, the Twitter, and all of that went crazy.
Yeah.
So who farted on the? Now they say.
Chris Matthews tweeted out saying that it was a coffee mug scooting across a table.
Which it probably is.
It could be, but it also sounds to me like a wooden stool leg.
Yeah.
Scraping across the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more likely one of those things than a fart.
I thought it was somebody just farting around. Somebody just put that in there. That's what it seemed like to me.
Added it to it?
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, they said that it happened during the broadcast because if you look at Swalwell's face, he kind of grimaces a little.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
What was that?
Well, then it was him. It was Swalwell.
And
that was a Democratic fart.
He said, no, it wasn't me. I don't know where it came from, but it was funny at the time, and that's why I smiled.
Well, let's see. They say the smeller's the feller.
Well,
What does
it mean to the listener? The listener's the what?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to.
The hearer's
is the bearer.
I don't know.
I thought he who smelt it dealt it.
Well, it doesn't indicate that he smelt it. It indicates that he heard it.
Yeah, so we don't know if he dealt it. Fox smells his own hole first. That's what they say.
Taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And
now he pauses a little bit there.
Yeah, it's kind of because
Well,
he's
that's why
sneaking it. He thought he could sneak it out.
He kind of goes, "Whoa, what was that?" Huh?
Although, wouldn't he'd sort of have to have a microphone near his.
Well, we don't know if it was
ventilator.
whether it's his or Chris's, because they leave Chris's mic on as well.
Oh.
So
Well,
what Chris is claiming is that it was his coffee mug going across the top of the table.
Okay, then it's Matthews, and you can look at him. He's a farter.
He's a farter.
Yeah, he gets too excited about stuff, and
the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And
yeah, that pause. That pause is
that tells me he knows it's coming.
The pause is unfortunate.
That tells me he knows something's happening.
What, you mean like he leaned up? Like
So
he he tried to one cheek sneak?
one cheek sneak while he's standing up?
Because, you can't fart in those hearing rooms. They're so condensed and
all
those people.
People would go, God, who did that?
Well, actually, that's a better place to go because there's so many possible...
Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Where was I yesterday? I was in a car with some people, and I won't say who, but I kept thinking, somebody is stinking this car up. And you don't want to say anything because
you'll embarrass somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to help him cheat an election.
Yeah, that was Chris Matthews.
Think it was Matthews?
Yeah.
Ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
Yeah, that's an old man fart. That's an old man fart. It's kind of
How
raggedy.
can you tell?
It's kind of raggedy.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not
strong,
full throated. It's kind of raggedy and almost wet sounding.
Oh,
and here are the rhymes that we were looking for. He who denied it supplied it.
Oh.
Yeah.
The blamer is the claimer.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, people who
All right.
listen to the show. You're smarter than we
Thank you
are.
very much.
Very good.
I won't lie to you. There's a lot of drops about pooping this week.
Are you having issues, Carrie? Is that
no? It just happened to be the shows that I was watching. They were.
That's just how the ass goes down sometimes.
Yeah. All right. Let's award Boner round one.
And it's brought to you in part by Pepper Chicken.
And Moochie's would like to thank their loyal customers for supporting their locally owned and operated stores. Moochie's is offering free delivery or pickup within designated areas. Call your local Moochie's to order.
Boner candidate number one. I guess it's okay. These days my fingers always taste like hand sanitizer anyway. KFC is suspending the finger-licking good slogan due to the coronavirus. Of all the nonsensical things to worry about. Boner candidate number two. This is a candidate I expected to do very well. Firebugs in Utah. 77% of the wildfires in Utah it has been determined, have been human-caused, 77%. And then boner candidate number 3, No Mask Monday. Apparently a bunch of parents down in, or a bunch of people down in Utah, or Washington County, St. George area, trying to urge parents to keep their kids home, or no, send them to school without masks. That's what it was on Monday, because, well, you can't suspend the whole student body. Well, fortunately, I think a lot of the kids had smarter ideas than their elders, and that was the winner by a huge margin.
Good.
Boner candidate
Jerk
number 3.
Parents. I'm proud of these kids. This story actually made me feel better about things. Like at least the kids get it.
Yeah. Okay, there's your winner of round 1. It goes forward. Might be boner of the day. Coming up at 8:20, 3 more, 3 different candidates. We'll get a winner there. We'll take the winner of each round and put them against each other at 9:20 this morning. That is when you will decide boner of the day with Boner Fight. I think Nate is on the phone. Let's go to Nate.
Mr. McDonald, are you there?
I am here.
Spokesperson for the coronavirus task force, the state of Utah. Nate McDonald is with us now. Nate, everyone in your family so far safe, sound, healthy, doing okay?
We're doing well, but your boner candidate winner there fits perfectly in what we want to talk about, back to school. And also my own family had a little quarantine scare last week because of the virus and going back to school. So it's a perfect topic to
what
to
happened
help
with
remind people.
What happened with your family, Nate?
Well, you know how we've been talking a lot about quarantining. You know, you go get tested, and the importance of if you get tested to quarantine or isolate as if you were positive until you know whether or not you were negative.
Yeah.
So we just had a similar experience to that, and it's a good reminder. You know, as we're going back to school. Carpool, for example, that may not be our situation. Where carpool,
or it may be.
Carpooling, if you're carpooling with another family, it's so important to remember to, one, wear masks if you're sharing a vehicle with another family, and two, also the importance of, if you have symptoms or if someone in your family has symptoms, you go get tested. Remember to treat as if you are positive until you know if you're negative. And as we're going back to school and as your families are, it's just so important that we follow that rule. And, also for people.
Well, Nate, so just on a personal level, and I don't want you to give details, but in your situation, how long? So somebody tested positive, and so somebody in your family went to get tested to make sure, and quarantine. They had to quarantine. How long did it take the test to come back? And
well, so it was actually not. It was a family that we carpooled with, and so the situation was it only took 2 days, less than 2 days, for them to get the positive results back. But in doing so, they they tested positive. But then my children still may have rode carpool with them for a couple of days. So that was the concern, is that then we had to quarantine to make sure we didn't have any symptoms and everything like that. And so that's just, as we're going back to school, those are just little things like that people just need to remember. These simple things that we've been talking about, of wearing masks, and then also isolating or quarantining, and the difference between isolation and quarantine. I don't know if many people even know the difference, and there's
what
not
is it?
much of a difference.
What is it?
So isolation is if you test positive, you need to isolate, and that means you isolate in your home, and you're doing everything you can to isolate from others, including those in your home, because you want to make sure you don't want to infect them either. So you're trying to isolate. Whereas quarantine is more so you're just quarantining in your home with those in your home. You're not necessarily isolating from those in your home because you don't know if you have tested positive yet. So those are just some simple differences. And if you've been exposed, you need a quarantine. If you test positive, you isolate.
I got you. Okay. So some other quick things that we could talk about here. And I was just going to point out, we went on a little trip over the weekend, and my 89-year-old mother-in-law went with us. And so there are 3 of us in the car, in the same family, my daughter, my wife, and myself. We live here together, and we all wore masks, as did my mother-in-law, in the car, mainly for her protection, just in case one of us unknowingly had the virus. None of us exhibit symptoms, but we said, well, let's all put on masks in the car, because, Nana's going to be riding in the car with us. Now, once we got to the place we were going, it's a little more open, a cabin, and we were out in the wilderness and stuff. We all took off our masks. But in that tight environment of the car, we wore masks until we got there. Anyway, let's move.
It's just that.
Go ahead. I was just going to say we can move on.
I was just saying, and I don't think my neighbor or anyone intended to do anything, and that's what I think we're just trying to help people is it's just simple things of making this become more, realizing that these are just simple things we can do where otherwise we don't think of it, and we're just trying to get people to think of it now. Oh, maybe I should do this, whereas normally you just don't. It's still not first nature to put on a mask or to think I need a quarantine. It's just not of our nature to think that way yet, and that's just what we're trying to get people to think of those things more.
What is this "Stay Safe to Stay Open" campaign here?
Well, this is something for businesses to stayopenutah.com, and it's a pledge that businesses can take, and essentially it's the Chamber of Commerce is leading it, where businesses can really learn what the guidelines are for their industry or their business and take a pledge to follow those guidelines. And it's just a campaign that we're really just trying to help workplaces not only build confidence in their employees that, hey, it's a safe place to come to work, but also customers and consumers to understand, hey, they've taken this pledge, they know what the guidelines are, and it's an opportunity for that business just to say, hey, I've taken the pledge, I know what the guidelines are, and I'm following them.
Yeah, I walk into a business and if everybody in there that works there is not wearing a mask, I think I should go somewhere else. I should just go somewhere else. All the employees inside should have on masks. It just goes without saying, and I just don't get it. And I think I almost want to say something to them. I'm not coming into your store because you are not doing the "Stay Safe to Stay Open" guidelines.
And these are just simple things. Again, it just comes down. These are simple things that we're asking people that they can do, whether it's a business or just all of us to do. And it's just helping slow the spread and helping us to be able to do some of the things that we want to be able to do, going back to school, participate in activities and shopping and socialize. And we can do them if we do it smart and do it within these guidelines.
And at this point, you say we can do them, but at this point we really don't have much of a choice, do we? We got to be doing some stuff. We can't just hide under rocks. We have to be doing something. So let's try and do it as safely as possible. Nate, thanks a lot.
Those are sound words, Bill. Thank you.
Thanks, Nate. Coronavirus.utah.gov. All kinds of videos there. Take heed, ladies and gentlemen. Take heed.
All right. Thanks, Nate. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
We will take a break. We will be back. We got a message from Royale Salt Lake coming up. They got a game coming up.
RSL.
RSL. They want to talk about it on the way. And also round 2 of your boners. Stand by for that.
And I've got traffic.
Oh, you have some traffic? Go ahead.
Crash northbound SR 36 at Bates Canyon Road. All northbound lanes are closed. Traffic is backing up to Erda Way. I've heard from a few friends of the program dealing with that. Crash southbound 1900 west at 4800 south in Roy. All southbound lanes are blocked right now with an emergency vehicle in the way. Expect to be rerouted through there and some delays. Heavy traffic northbound Foothill, nothing like typical fall semester traffic, but quite a bit heavier than this time last week, a friend of the program says. And a free, freshly washed mattress in the middle of I-15 northbound at exit 351. I don't know how they know it's freshly washed. It smells April fresh, maybe.
It fell off my truck.
That's traffic.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. And now a message from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
You know, things are, every year in September we have that Out of the Darkness walk for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And, of course, this year it's going to be, it's a different year. We can't have, 1,200, 1,500 people together at Liberty Park or other venues walking together to bring suicide out of the darkness and into the open light. We can't do it. So we're going to do other things. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's Utah chapter invites you to join the Out of the Darkness experience. Suicide has affected far too many of us and those we love. People can safely connect, support one another, share stories, raise funds and awareness online. Together, we can create a culture that's smart about mental health. You can register today at afsp.org/SLC. That's afsp.org/SLC. We'll be telling you more about it coming up in future dates. From celebrities to moms right here in Utah, more and more women are consuming their placentas in pill form.
Don't do that.
Listen, I want you to hear
Okay,
these.
Wait, don't go on. Even if there's something about eating your placenta, you would have to do it the way your dog does it when she has puppies.
Yep.
If there's anything to it, drying it out and putting it in a pill kills whatever good thing you think it does.
Medical expert Gina Barberi, listen to the testimonies of these women,
All
Gina.
right.
The placenta, for those of you who don't know, is an organ that grows inside the uterus while a baby is developing. The placenta gives nutrients to the baby, and some believe...
Some believe. People are saying, and I'm hearing.
Ms. Barberi, not among them.
No.
But some people are saying, and I'm hearing, and I have the tendency to believe when some people say and I hear, and then I believe, that it is also capable of giving mom key nutrients even after it, that is the placenta, and the baby are delivered. Quote, so what happens is, studies show that about 72 hours after delivery, once the placenta is delivered, hormone levels drop, said Rachel Talley, a midwife, Gina, and herbalist. Are you either of those two things?
Wow, a midwife and an herbalist.
Are you?
I am neither of them.
All right then.
Are there any,
I will, you take out your credentials and show me.
Are there any doctors or scientists around?
Carrie?
Studies.
Studies say,
herbalists.
according to this midwife
and
herbalist.
A study could be, I've studied things, and that's.
It takes 4 to 12 weeks statistically, said an herbalist and midwife, for the body to and the endocrine system to start producing these hormones again. So what we're really doing is natural hormone therapy. After Miranda Hansen delivered her second child, she said she felt the despair of postpartum creeping back in. The first 5 days was like a flashback, she said. But after taking her first placenta pill, she says, so here's evidence right here, the symptoms softened in just 20 minutes. It was like this fog that was lifted, she said. It was like a breath. Like it was totally like, I could just like feel like it was clear. It was
couldn't possibly
amazing.
be that you were thinking that would happen, so it happened.
Oh my God, you are so negative. Miranda says she bonded with her baby, got back on her feet quicker, and dropped her baby weight faster after taking the pills. Other moms like Melinda Dratchell also weighed in. I'm a big fan of Western, like modern medicine, she said. I'm all about the epidural. Which I know you are, Gina.
Big fan of the epidural.
But she said the placenta pills worked for her. It was a little strange at first when I started talking.
And they kept the cougars away, and they kept
Rachel Talley charges, midwife and herbalist, charges. What are you charging for this advice, Gina? Huh?
It's free.
She charges $250. Okay.
How much does she charge?
And that's what it's worth.
How much does she charge?
That's what your advice is worth. Because her advice, midwife and herbalist, $250 for her services. She said a placenta typically yields about 200 to 300 pills. Some hospitals won't release the placenta, but if they do, and if it's handled correctly, the health department said they don't see a risk in consuming your own placenta, but they do caution folks not to share their placenta with somebody else.
Please let me have some of your placenta.
No.
Come on.
No, don't share. No placenta sharing out there, okay? Rachel Talley, midwife, herbalist, and placenta encapsulator.
And making money off of it.
She is.
Wait, that couldn't possibly have anything to do.
She is a placenta encapsulator as well.
A placebo encapsulator.
Yeah.
You start at 11 or 12 volume level, and believe me, I know. There's just nowhere to go from there.
Then you're screeching.
All right. Andy's on the phone. Let's talk to Andy.
No,
Andy Carroll.
It's Carrie. This is the president.
Do I have to say Mr. President?
Mr. President. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Bill. Yeah, and thanks for that intro, by the way. I was a little bit surprised by the President Trump intro. That was, so tough to follow that, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to
try and raise my level a little bit.
Gesture a lot. Gesture with your arms a lot, and that'll help.
Okay, all right.
Andy Carroll, President
Radio from Hell Morning. I'm gesturing a lot.
Yeah, good. President of Real Salt Lake, and congratulations on the win against Colorado. And how does the team look overall to you, Andy?
Well, thank you. Yes, the team looks good, solid. I mean, this is going to be it's a very interesting season, as you know, quite unpredictable, and it's going to be a very compressed return to market. So, meaning we have 6 games in I think 22 days, which is ridiculous in the soccer world, and then we have we're going to play 12 more games before November. So our team is not only talented but young and deep and versatile. So if we were I think we really are well positioned to do well in this very unique, compressed season, where it's very concentrated with a lot of soccer in a short period of time.
There's
teams that are deep.
Is there a match tomorrow at Rio Tinto, right, Andy?
Yes, yeah. For the first time since early March, back at Rio Tinto Stadium. Very excited about that. We will be playing with fans, one of 4 markets in Major League Soccer. So we've been going through a lot of different processes and protocols to make sure that we can accommodate 5,000 people safely and at Rio Tinto. So very excited about that.
How many people does Rio Tinto normally hold at capacity?
20,700. So we will only have 4,300 actually in the bowl, and then we'll have some for suites. But we have zip-tied closed 15,000 seats, to give you an idea of just what the social distancing will be like at Rio Tinto Stadium.
And I was watching a video about your procedures. It's very detailed, even as much as they're only letting people into seats. Like if your seats are in this section, you have to be seated 60 minutes before the game starts. If you're in this section, it's 30 minutes, so people aren't walking past each other. Very detailed safety measures you guys are taking.
Interesting.
Yeah, thanks, Gina. Yeah, we really have been going through and making sure that we are loading the stadium in waves, and then obviously on egress we'll be doing the same thing, trying to ensure that there is social distancing at all times. People have to wear their masks for the game. So we feel there's going to be one of the safest places you can be in Utah. We've gone through numerous precautions to make sure that we keep everybody safe from players, staff, and fans, and that everyone has a good time and enjoys seeing Real Salt Lake soccer. So I think our community needs a little bit of entertainment. I think you guys would all agree.
Yeah, you can do things like pre-order food. You'll still be able to get food there. You can pre-order your parking, pay for parking ahead of time. I thought this was an interesting part of the safety protocol. That they even say, don't even roll down your window. Just hold up your phone to the window, and they'll let you into the parking area. Just little details like that I think are going to make people feel safer about being there.
Yeah, that's not even an option. That's the only way parking works. So parking is prepaid, and it's part of the process. Everyone will have a correlating parking lot, and then a correlating bathroom, and then a correlating concession stand. So you'll only be able to use those in your section because we're trying to limit people's ability or their need to move around the stadium. So we're trying to make sure that we put all these like I said, processes in place to limit just people moving around, people in very, again, 6 foot of social distancing, and making sure that you're very limited in your movement.
Is there any? Have you tried to quarantine or restrict or socially distance those? What do they call them? Vuvuzelas? Those horns? What do they call those things? Are you? Can you?
Yes, those have been quarantined. Yes, those are not permitted at Rio Tinto Stadium. So those were quarantined long before COVID-19.
Okay, good. Good. I didn't know that. Oh, those things
How
are annoying.
about a little bit about the game itself? What do you think they're going to be matching up against LAFC like?
Well, LAFC, obviously very, very tough team, scored more points and more goals than any other team in history last year, so a lot of talent. But again, I think Carlos Vela went down on Saturday, so one of their big players tweaked the knee. So they're very deep, they're very talented, they're very well coached. Bob Bradley used to be the U.S. men's national team coach in World Cup. So we feel, it's a team that's very beatable. We believe that, again, with our lineup and our structure of our team, that we will be very, very competitive. This is a game we believe we should win at home. Last year we had the second best winning record in Major League Soccer at home. So we always feel good at Rio Tinto. We're going to have fans, like I said. So even though we're only going to have around 5,000, it will be loud as opposed to some of these stadiums, the other stadiums. So we feel like we'll have a home crowd advantage. We'll have Rio Tinto Stadium advantage at altitude, and that we have a very talented team.
Andy Carroll is president of Real Salt Lake. When you become president of the team, I guess you don't really expect crises like this to happen, but that's all part and parcel of being the president and acting responsibly, isn't it, Andy?
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely, we're ready for everything. And you got to be, as you guys know, you've got to be adaptable and got to keep moving forward. So we're very fortunate to live in Utah, even though it's not perfect, as you guys know, as I listen to your show, and you remind us just how imperfect it is.
But we love it. We love it.
Still pretty, yeah, I know you do. And it comes out, by the way, that you guys do love it. You love to, you want it to be perfect. That's clear by pointing out where we come up short. But it's a great place to live, and it's been great to work with the state government health officials, as well as government officials, as well as also the county. They've been really, really good, and So that's made it easier on us as we adapt in this ever-changing world.
People want tickets and more information, and are there tickets available for tomorrow? Yes?
Just a few tickets available. So a lot of our season ticket holders gobbled them up, but there are a few, and you can get them at rsl.com or 844-REAL-TICK, so we certainly appreciate it.
All right. Andy Carroll, thanks a lot. Nice talking to you. Don't be a stranger. You can come around anytime.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Traffic, Gina.
Yeah, this is a nasty crash, northbound SR36 Bates Canyon Road. All northbound lanes closed, traffic backing up to Erdaway. Heard from a few different friends of the program who are stuck in that mess there. Crash southbound I-15, 51st South in Murray. That one is off to the right shoulder. And I believe that is the only other accident. If you see something, please let us know. Like this person saying heavier traffic northbound Foothill this morning. That came in via text at 33986. I don't know if the free mattress that was in the middle of I-15 is still there. I bet somebody snatched that great deal up as fast as they could. So send it to us if you see it. Injured in an accident. Everyone deserves an advocate. Call 801-355-5550 or go to utahadvocates.com.
Boners round 2. Here are the candidates we're going to be dealing with. Number 1, stealing from the good guys. Number 2, hey, let's put lipstick on the donkey and the horse. And number 3, the pooting papa.
All right, so round 2 of your boners. Big boy news all coming up after these. Brooklinen.com. We were talking earlier about what habits have you changed or not changed since you've been staying at home because of the COVID. I've been keeping my routine. I get up and shower every morning. And the best part is my Brooklinen towels. Yes, they are the Internet's favorite sheets. They're our favorite sheets here, but they're also our favorite towels. They've got all kinds of stuff on their website. You should just go there, brooklinen.com, and they've got all kinds of things, but they really want you to know about their towels. It's turned my bathroom into a miniature spa, and you can, when you go online to select your towels, you can pick the color and then the fluffiness, because some people like a really fluffy towel. I like a medium fluffy towel. Brooklinen, the perfect place to find all the comforts for home, including ultra-soft towels. They are so confident in their product that everything comes with a lifetime warranty. Use the promo code Jackson, that's my last name, Jackson, for 10% off your first order at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. And the promo code Jackson, Brooklinen, everything you need to live your most comfortable life.
Enjoying a delicious piece of German chocolate cake pie.
Exactly.
That's kind of weird, Travis. Is Travis the Pieman here?
Hi, everybody.
German chocolate cake pie.
Exactly.
We have an official pieman for the Radio from Hell show.
Gina, by the way, I brought you your pie.
Oh!
It's a pie in a box.
It's the McDonald's.
It's the pie that she will eat.
We know she'll eat that.
You're missing out.
It's the one thing I have in common with Donald Trump.
You're missing out. This is delicious.
It's delicious. It really is, Travis.
And also, Gina, since I couldn't get you pie, I got you something else.
What? Well, you got me pie right there.
See, Travis has got an...
Did he?
Yeah. Travis has been making stickers.
Remain seated podcast stickers?
Got the graphic offline, was able to kind of jury rig a setup for it. So you've got some for the computer, for the laptop, for your car, whatever you want to do.
I love it. Thank you.
Travis, is it an Etsy store?
Yeah, it's an Etsy store called Pieman Graphics, or if you search Pieman Graphics on Twitter, it now pulls up links that'll take you right where you need to go.
You know, Gina, those stickers have beard hair in them.
Do they?
Yeah, probably.
That's okay. I'm not going to eat them.
I try to pick them out, but picking out the beard hair makes it artisanal.
This pie has beard hair in it, and it's delicious. It's just delicious.
Well, my boys helped me with this one, and, the 11-year-olds.
Yeah, Travis sells stickers on his Etsy site.
That's awesome.
He's been selling Geek Show stickers.
Now, Travis, you it's Pi Day,
right?
What do you know about the mathematical symbol of pi? Anything?
It's the magical number that lets you calculate many things in geometry. The time that they actually celebrate it today, or at least the big math geeks celebrate it today, is today at 1:59 p.m. because then you get 3.14159, which are the first numbers of pi.
Wow.
I know. It's really, you can get really geeky on this.
So there's going to be math geeks at the bar at that time?
At that exact time, they'll all raise a glass and they'll be good. Woo! And I mean, and there's little math things they come up with too, where they say that, since there's 360 degrees in a circle, if you go to the 359th position of pi, there's 360 right there.
If I understood math better, apparently it is this magical thing that you can calculate all kinds of things.
It's an exact proportion that they figure is like a magic number throughout the universe. It helps things work. But we kind of adopted it too, is instead of just being pi as in the number, it's pi as in pie. Also, pizza today is big. I think Pie Pizzeria usually does some kind of special thing, or all the other pizza chains will do something special. I don't recognize the National Pie Day that they had back in January.
Yeah, we tried to call you out on that day, and
it's just like Valentine's Day. It's a setup day where Big Pastry comes out and wants to sell pie.
Big pastry.
Big pastry. They tried to co-opt it.
Exactly.
Right.
There's only two pie holidays that I celebrate, and that is Pie Day and Pie and Beer Day on the 24th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because nothing's better than a fresh raspberry pie and a Pilsner.
Now, Travis, I know you also have you lost your job some time ago. I don't know what you weren't fired, but it was
I'm no longer employed.
Yeah.
And so right now I'm looking for anything that's either integration or
what is
implementation.
What is integration?
I do a lot of software.
Okay.
And basically it's taking large groups of software pieces or hardware pieces and putting it together for a major company.
Okay.
So I do integrations, implementation, support. So
if anybody has something like that and wants an employee that can bring pie on potluck day,
exactly, lots of pie.
That's
he's a great pie maker, and he knows how to do big software jobs. Travis, how do they get a hold of you?
They can just email me at travislynnjohnson@gmail.com.
Okay. And Raul down on the border, send us in the chat room a picture of one of your Trump stickers on his computer, I think.
Yeah, I have a copy of the balloon Trump. The big balloon that they were running around England, and they brought it over to Los Angeles and into New Jersey. Yeah, I sell those on the site too.
Pieman Graphics.
Well,
all right.
Thanks. I just devoured the pie. One slice is enough. It's very sweet, but man, it's delicious. Thank you, Travis.
No problem at all. Have a good one.
Have a good pie day.
You too.
Time for round 2 of your boner voting. Here we go. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, funny human behavior. And you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one should go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. If it wins here, it'll go up against the winner of round 1's voting. We did that an hour ago. But we'll take both of these winners and put them against each other. You will decide boner of the day at 9:20 this morning with Boner Fight. Right now, you've got to pick your champion for round 2. Send one of these 3 candidates forward. 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote, and one of you lucky random boner voters will receive
a Diversion Eatery gift card, and by gift card I mean it's an e-card. We'll email it to you, and you can get some delicious food from Diversion Eatery.
Boner candidate number 1, stealing from the good guys. A firefighter battling the California lightning complex fire had his wallet stolen out of his vehicle and his bank account drained.
Oh.
According to CAL FIRE, the firefighter was on the ground directing crews when somebody entered his department vehicle, stole his personal belongings, including his wallet. Officials say the firefighter's bank account was later drained. That's the extent that these people have gone to. Again, this is why we've asked people to evacuate. It's saddening, it's sickening, and we're doing everything we can to try to help the community. And then, unfortunately, this happens, said California Fire Chief Mark Brunton. The fire, which has burned 74,000 acres in San Mateo and Santa Cruz counties, was only 8% contained as of Sunday. One person died in the blaze. Officials on Sunday urged residents still in the evacuation zone to leave the area if they hadn't already, in part to keep crews focused on fighting the fire and saving homes, and also in part to deter criminal activity. About 1,300 personnel had been responding to the fire. But this guy, this fire crewman, I think he was a chief, they just stole everything. I mean, they stole his wallet and then took every single cent from his bank account. Boner candidate
Special
number
kind of
one.
evil there.
Yeah. Stealing from the good guys. Here's number two. Let's put lipstick on the donkey and the horse. Teenagers, teenagers, broke into a New Jersey petting zoo over the weekend, rode on miniature donkeys, and even put lipstick on one of the donkeys and lip gloss on a miniature horse. The family owned Abma's Farm in Wyckoff, New Jersey, was alerted to the trespass when one of them posted a photo on Snapchat and tagged the location. Police said Monday they received a call about the trespassers on Saturday. The Detective Juvenile Bureau is working in conjunction with Animal Control to identify all parties responsible. The image posted online showed a blonde girl riding one of the small donkeys, too small to really be ridden. One other person is visible in the background. Trespassers broke into our barnyard petting zoo and disturbed our animals. They opened gates, rode our miniature donkeys, who should not be supporting that much weight. After seeing the photos, family members rushed to the petting zoo, saw several people fleeing. They managed to stop at least two, spoke to them, but said that they fled before police arrived. There was several gates were open. Some animals were scattered. A duckling and a rabbit are missing.
Oh.
And one family member noted there was lip gloss on a horse.
Because you know what would be funny on Snapchat is if I'm putting a lip.
Boner candidate number 2. Let's put lipstick on the donkey and the horse. Coming up in a moment, boner candidate number 3, the Pooting Papa.
Boner candidate number 3 for round 2, coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
Join Sundance Institute for a special free online screening on August 31st featuring the punk rock rom-com Dinner in America from the 2020 Sundance Film Festival. Register at utah.sundance.org with the promo code SundanceLocals.
I, like millions of Americans, enjoyed the television program The Office. And I watched a lot of them. I watched probably most of them.
Have you ever heard of anybody that says I don't like The Office?
There's
Katie
always
doesn't like it.
Katie doesn't like it. There's always somebody who will say I prefer the British version.
But it's been watched more than 2 million times since it's been, But Jennifer Garner decided that in quarantine she and her kids would sit down and watch the entire
whole
run of The Office.
How many seasons was that? 7?
Something like that. My kids and I have spent months piled on the couch working our way through The Office, and apparently we're sensitive people. The finale hit us pretty hard. When I realized I'd actually accidentally shot my farewell testimonial in slow-mo, I realized your Monday might need this too. And in the clip, Jennifer Garner is shown wearing a Dunder Mifflin t-shirt, and she's weeping.
I love Jennifer Garner. She's a real person.
Yeah, she's just like you and me.
She is.
She? She's just like friends. You and me. I was looking at the news today, and I saw pictures of Julianne Hough and her family vacationing in Idaho. And I looked at him and looked at all the members of the family and and I said, there's nothing even remotely like me in those people. They are so far better than I am, so far
Bill,
above
don't
me.
compare yourself to Julianne Hough.
So far above me. They're also good looking and buff, doing their yoga poses, in a beautiful setting in Idaho.
9 seasons.
9 seasons. No wonder she's weeping. She's tired. Here's a very odd story. Tamisha Beauchamp, dead. The paramedic said so. After 30 minutes of CPR failed to revive her. An emergency room doctor in Southfield, Michigan confirmed the prognosis, dead. So employees at a local funeral home were more than slightly shaken as they were about to slide her into the oven I think they were going to embalm her, actually. And her chest started rising and falling.
Ooh.
The 20-year-old
This is one of my fears, by the way.
that Tamisha Beauchamp would be found alive?
No,
Why?
that people think I'm dead and they take me to the funeral home and I'm not dead and nobody notices. And
Gina, people
that's
are
one of my
wondering.
fears.
People are wondering right now whether or
I know
not.
that's.
Breathe on the camera. See if there's a fog of any kind.
Trying to remember the name of the movie. Oh, wow! I'm trying to remember the name of the movie where, because the scene that I keep playing back in my head is they put him in the coffin.
Well, it's
and he says, "Don't bury me. I'm not dead."
It's
what
it's
movie
the
was
Poe
that?
story. It's
It was a zombie movie. It was I can't. I'll find it because that's
Anyway,
what Gina needs to see.
They were about to embalm her, and I mean, they would have begun draining her blood, but somebody said, "Wait a minute, wait a minute,
Wait a minute."
Now, part of the problem here is, she'd been there for several hours too, and so she's now in critical. I mean, she's in critical. She's not in good shape, but she would be in much better shape if they had not been negligent and been so quick to declare her dead. She could have got. Excuse me.
The Serpent and the Rainbow is the name of the movie.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Oh, it was good.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, in an interview with Reuters, warned against fast-tracking the approval of any COVID-19 vaccine that had not completed clinical trials. The one thing you would not want to see with a vaccine is getting an EUA before you have a signal of efficacy, he said, referring to Emergency Use Authorization, EUA. The comment came a day after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued the emergency authorization for plasma therapy following pressure from the White House. One of the potential dangers if you prematurely let a vaccine out is that it would make it difficult, if not impossible, for other vaccines to enroll people in their trial, Fauci said. It's absolutely paramount that you definitively show that a vaccine is safe and effective, both. We would hope that nothing interferes with the full demonstration that a vaccine is safe and effective. If you go off half-cocked and then it proves not to be effective, people are then going to become even more distrustful. It also fouls up other tests. It also fouls up other vaccines. And all in all, you have to test and test reliably.
You can't hurry science for political reasons. They will have the results when they have the results, whether the election is on this day or not. You have to just wait for that to happen.
The Utah Transit Authority kicked off a free mask campaign for college students on campus. Yesterday, the transit service had representatives handing out masks at Weber State, Brigham Young, and Utah Valley universities. We want to hand out as many as possible to students, whether they ride UTA or not, UTA officials said. It's an effort to connect with students coming back to school. Later this week, Wednesday and Thursday, reps will hand out free masks at Salt Lake Community College if you want to go down there and pretend you're a student. Get a free mask. So the Postmaster General Louis Dejoy was testifying before Congress, several days, a couple of days last week. My favorite part of his whole testimony is when he was being questioned by Katie Porter, Representative
She's my favorite. I
Katie
love her.
Porter. At one point, Katie Porter fired off a round of quick, basic questions to Mr. Dejoy, the head of the Postal Service.
Mm-hmm.
How much does it cost to mail a postcard?
I don't know.
How many people voted by mail in the last election? How much is a stamp? I think it's 50 cents. Is it 50? I think it's 55. I'm not up on stamps.
It was worse than that, though, Bill, because he was kind of laughing like, you can believe this lady's asking me these quick. Do I really have to sit here and do this? Laughing while he's doing it.
There's also the fact that he has, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of investments in businesses that are dependent on the post office or that are conflicting with the post office, I should say, with U.S. Post Office. A Utah man was arrested after he fired an assault rifle at a police officer who did not return fire. According to jail documents, a 9-year-old boy called police just before 1:30 Sunday to report a possible home invasion. Several gunshots had been fired, the boy told police. When an officer arrived, he saw a white male outside the residence wave him past the house to the home next door. The officer wrote that he drove past the man's house thinking he was pointing me in the direction of the shots being fired. The officer didn't see any evidence of shots fired at neighboring houses. He parked nearby, and his police dog approached the man who was pointing a weapon, which appeared to be an AR-15, into his garage. According to the officer, he identified himself, ordered the suspect to drop the rifle. The man said, "They're in the house with weapons." When the officer ordered the suspect again to drop the gun, the man turned and pointed the gun at the officer. The officer wrote that he drew his weapon, pointed it at the man who is, now picture this, is pointing an AR-15 at him. He drew his police weapon and ordered him to drop the gun, and the suspect shot at him. He missed him. The suspect shot at the police officer with an AR-15 and missed. "I ducked behind cover," the officer wrote, and called back his police dog because the suspect's 9-year-old son was hiding under a vehicle 5 feet away from the suspect. The man and his son ran to the house across the street. The boy went inside. The suspect remained in the front yard. The officer continued to order the man to drop his gun. If this is a black man, is he still alive at this point?
Nope.
According to the probable cause statement, the suspect's speech was rapid. He seemed to be under the influence of some sort of narcotic. Or this is a great cop who would have done this no matter what, who would have handled the situation this way no matter what. We don't know that for sure. But police didn't. He managed to subdue the man. He ordered the man to drop his weapon. Finally, he did drop it. At any point there could have been some justification, certainly, for the officer to shoot the guy. But he didn't.
And that's a good thing he didn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
That should be how that situation is handled.
That's a brave police officer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't 4 or 5 police officers running after a suspect in a T-shirt and then shooting him in the back as he tries to get into the car with his kids. And finally, this. The Republicans warn of chaos if Joe Biden wins. It's going to be chaos.
You mean like it is now?
Charlie
Like
Kirk,
when
Turning Point.
President Trump is president, like now?
Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk called Trump the bodyguard of Western civilization, Gina. A school teacher spoke. Her name is Rebecca Fredericks, and she bashed teacher unions for turning schools into war zones.
What?
The Republican National Committee chairwoman Ronna McDaniel said that people think Joe Biden is a nice guy, Well, let me tell you, raising taxes on 82% of Americans is not being nice. Matt Gaetz talked at the Republican convention and said that we have to fight to save America now or we will lose her forever. Joe Biden will...
Actually, I agree with that statement. I mean, from the other side, that one I agree with.
2 healthcare workers touted Trump as a pioneering leader who moved mountains to respond to the coronavirus. Jim Jordan said, if the Democrats get elected, they're not going to let you go to school, but they'll let you go out in the streets and loot.
I don't know what boogeymen they...
The father of one of the students who was killed at Parkland School in Florida said it was far-left Democrats that made the shooting at Parkland and the death of my son possible.
Huh? That's a new one.
Oh, boy. I mean, they're just... Anyway, sports weather traffic.
Well, professional athletes, young, professional, healthy athletes, it is impossible for them. They have nothing to fear with the coronavirus.
Really?
I don't know. I heard this on another radio show yesterday. I don't know why the college football players should be playing football. They're young and healthy. And
of course, the host of that show challenged that, didn't he?
No,
No.
he had
What?
him on so the guy would say that. World record sprinter and 8-time Olympic gold medalist Usain Bolt has tested positive for coronavirus and is self-isolating at his home in Jamaica. Now, this is Usain's fault, by the way.
Yes.
He decided to have a mask-free 34th birthday party for himself. And guess what? He got the virus. And I hate to tell that doctor or supposed doctor that was on that radio show I heard yesterday about how there are college football players that have tested positive, that are sick, that have this heart condition that comes after coronavirus, that they don't know how long you have it. It could be permanent. It could just be for a few months. They don't know.
More of
It
your
can
Democrat lies, Gina.
It
It's more of your
can affect
Democrat lies.
young, healthy athletes. It can. The Jazz are playing in the bubble. They lead the series 3-1 over the Denver Nuggets, and they play today at 4:30. And just another reminder, Real Salt Lake, yes, they are having a home game tomorrow at the Riot. RSL is back, and X96 wants to send you to Rio Tinto August 26th to watch Real Salt Lake take on Los Angeles Football Club. We've got family 4-packs of tickets to give you, and you can win those by going to x96.com. Weather, that little bit of thunderstorm action we had last night, some of you were awake for that or it woke you up. We could have a little bit more of that today and a high of 97. Traffic crash northbound SR 36 at Bates Canyon Road. All northbound lanes still closed to traffic. Crash Airport Road and Bluff Street. This is in St. George. Why am I giving you that? It's in St. George. Some of you may be listening. I don't know. Crash southbound I-1550 for South in Murray. That one is off to the right shoulder. And let me check our message stream because friends of the program send us in traffic there as well. I don't see anything, but if you see something, say something. Text it to us, 33986. During the month of August, Scott Hale is offering a $39 AC tune-up. Call Scott Hale, 801-264-HALE.
Here's boner candidate number 3. A Florida woman was arrested yesterday for allegedly battering her father. By the way, this is the Putin Papa. battering her father because of his extreme flatulence inside their home. According to the arrest affidavit, Nicole Dozios shares a bedroom with her 59-year-old father in Tampa Bay. Around 2 a.m. Sunday, Dozios became angry with her father due to his extreme farting, and an argument ensued. Dozios then allegedly attacked her father, punching him in the face numerous times.
That's not going to stop it.
Upon responding to the residents, cops noted that the victim had a bloody left eye and scratches all over his neck. Ms. Dozios was arrested for domestic battery. She was later released. Dozios, who was pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor, has been ordered by a judge to have no contact with the Putin Papa. Dozios' rap sheet includes convictions for theft and violating probation. In 2018, she was arrested for allegedly punching her sister in the head because her sister farted too much. Boner candidate
there are
number
issues here.
Boner candidate number 3, the Pooting Papa.
Let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, stealing from the good guys. A firefighter's wallet in California stolen and his bank account drained while he was battling a horrible wildfire in California. Boner candidate number 2, let's put lipstick on the donkey and the horse. A bunch of kids breaking into a New Jersey petting zoo. And boner candidate number 3, the Pooting Papa.
All right, you've got to decide of these three candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to boner fight and possibly become boner of the day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit, that number is all that's needed in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Easy. That's a good way to vote. Or you can call the producer's booth, 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. Or go online, x96.com, look for the box that says Boner Voting August 25, 2020, and vote there. If you don't see that box, refresh the browser. It should appear. You have until the end of these messages to do so. This is round 2. Go.
Well, it says it's a postcard. Greetings from fabulous Moab, Utah.
Fabulous.
And it's a postcard from the Poison Spider bicycle shop. It's a well-known bicycle shop down in Moab. It's got a giant, horrific spider on it chasing a bicyclist through the red rocks of Moab.
Looks like one of those old movie posters.
Yeah. And then on the back it says Carrie and Bill, and it's written by someone who assigns themselves very disappointed fan.
Very
disappointed enough to send a postcard.
Wow.
Somebody who looks like they might have been drunk because it's barely decipherable, scribbled. Carrie and Bill, although you are entertaining, why do you disrespect and bully Gina Barberi on your show? She is the voice of reason.
Voice of did you hear that? You're now the voice of reason.
It's my dad's thing.
Intelligent and kind. I guess this is kindness. Kindness. It's.
I like it when drunk people stick up for me.
Yay.
You both behave like
jackanapes. Jackanapes, please.
Misogynistic. Oh, misogynists. Gina should be something.
Do you want me to try
treated much better as a professional.
Thank you, drunk friend of the program.
Very disappointed fan. See if that doesn't look like a drunk person wrote it. Or no, you know what? I just changed my mind. It was written by an ancient person, an ancient human being. It's a former Tom Barberi fan who now, like Gina, I am not a crackpot.
Oh, I appreciate that. This took effort.
Yeah.
They had to
very old
purchase a postcard, buy a stamp.
It's a retiree in Moab.
Anyone can send an angry email. That takes no effort at all.
An angry postcard.
This took
It's by someone who doesn't know what email is. They're so old, they don't know what email is.
I appreciate it.
I think you should. It's your old fan in Moab.
In Moab. I'll take it.
Signed Old Timer in Moab. Well, you should take it. It's great.
Can I keep that? I want to keep that.
Yeah. It's Gina's fan mail.
Okay.
What?
She gets it from prison and
prison
I'll
mail.
take the fans I can get.
And
You
elderly.
go to a show with the fans that you have,
Ben
not
Marsh.
the fans that you want.
Ben Marsh and the Old Timer in Moab. I got me a free postcard out of the Poison Spider Bicycle Shop, and I'm sending this to those misogynistas.
Another thing, I am very happy with this.
You should be.
I will tweet out a picture of my fan.
Said, oh, Gina had a couple of glasses of wine and fired off some postcards, huh?
Right.
Yeah, how do we know
Moab.
that didn't come from Moab?
This isn't from Moab.
It's a postcard that you got when you were bicycling before you married your husband in Moab. When you came back with chafing.
That was just after I got married.
That's
Remember,
right.
I was pregnant and I didn't
You
know.
were.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. You were trying to impress your husband.
Yes.
The one and only time you went biking with your husband.
That was it.
Do I recall? You got a new bike. You
Yeah.
bought a bike.
Yep.
And that was the only time you rode that bike.
Yeah. It doesn't. It's too big for me.
Is it still?
It's too big. I can't sit on it. My feet don't touch the ground when I sit on it.
Then why did you buy a bike that was too
I
big?
didn't. He bought it for me without me,
Yeah.
thinking I was a statuesque woman.
So is it still hanging in the garage?
Yes.
Just another.
Just waiting for his second wife?
Yes.
Just one more bit of evidence that he has no idea who you are.
Excuse me. Still
His
waiting.
third wife, yeah.
It's hanging there waiting for his third wife. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, his third wife.
Excuse me, 8:50.
You okay?
I had the mic off because the dogs are in here, and they're chewing on their chew sticks, and they're making crunchy sounds. So the mic's off. That's basically it. Time to award round 2 of your boner.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by fried rice.
And it's Tuesday. That means it's Taco Tuesday at Diversion Eatery. Didn't you get the tacos last time, Bill? Or Carrie?
I
did.
did.
One of you.
They were great.
Get two $2 tacos with chicken, carne asada, carnitas, salmon, or portobello, located at 535 North 3rd West. See the menu at diversioneatery.com.
Boner candidate number 1 was stealing from the good guys. Firefighter's wallet stolen, draining his bank account. He was fighting the fire in California. It was in his the wallet was in his car, actually in his police or his firefighter vehicle. Boner candidate number 2, let's put lipstick on the horse and the donkey. Break into the petting zoo. Morons. And the Pudding Papa was number 3, but nobody cared about those two because the obvious choice was boner candidate number 1, stealing from the good guys.
Yeah.
There you go. That's your winner of round 2. It now goes forward to Boner Fight. Might be Boner of the Day. Depends on how well it does against the winner of round 1's voting. We're going to take both of those candidates and put them together, and you will decide who Boner of the Day is at 9:20 with Boner Fight.
Do you see that? A couple of things that occurred to me. Did you guys talk about Donald Trump's sister yesterday?
No.
No.
Elva or Norma or
Marianne.
whatever her name is. She's 90 or 83 years old.
Oh, a different one. Okay.
So I think it's his only sister, his older sister. He's the oldest sibling. So I think there was her and Dawn and Fred. I think those are the only kids.
Well, which one wrote a book, Gina?
That was
That's
his sister. That was his
or the niece.
No, his
niece.
niece. That's his niece.
That's it. Okay.
So, but his niece, who wrote the book, called when she was writing the book, called Donald Trump's sister, his older sister. She's 83. She's a retired federal judge.
Yeah, her name's Marianne.
Marianne Trump. She looks like an Elva to me, but and now she's never said anything much publicly about her brother Donald. Most of the Trumps have not, except for his immediate kids.
Well, there are NDAs involved.
Well, anyway, she's never said much publicly about him. But when the niece was writing the book that was just released, she called the older sister and talked to her a little bit about certain aspects of it. And one of the things she wanted to know was, she said, now it's always been said that Donald Trump cheated to get into college, essentially. Had people take the entrance exams for him. And so she called the older sister, the retired federal judge, to see if she knew anything about that and if it was true. And she said, yeah, it's pretty much true. I know that it's true. He took some classes at Fordham, and then he applied to wherever he ended up going to college. But he paid somebody to take the SAT for him so that he could get into that school. But then there are all these recordings between the young woman who wrote the book. I shouldn't say girl, she's a young woman. A woman who wrote the book, and the older sister, talking about Donald, and she just trashes him. He's there, and there's audio of it available, but he's a liar and a cheat, and he's dumb as a post, and you can't trust him. She just really dislikes him, and probably the reason is when she was going up to be a federal judge. She called him. She called Donald and said, I know that you have some in at the White House, you know people. I think it was Reagan. It was Ronald Reagan. Could you just ask Ronald Reagan to maybe look favorably on my... She says, I don't want, just have him pay a little more attention to my me being a federal judge, and so what Trump did was call Roy Cohn, his fixer, and Roy Cohn did it, and she did in fact get the federal judgeship, and then Donald claimed every time, you owe me, I'm the one who's responsible for you being the federal judge, which is not true. She probably would have gotten it anyway. And she just hates him. She hates him.
The judge had to retire to avoid ethics investigations. The sister.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently when Fred Trump died and Mary and her brother challenged the will in court, that's when the NDAs got implemented.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But she, and then now people have called her, reporters have been calling her saying, can you comment on these recordings of this phone call? And she won't comment on them. But it's her. He's a sniveling little sneak and a scoundrel, and she's just very...
Such a loving, close-knit...
Mm-hmm.
family there.
Yeah.
Well,
The first family, aren't they?
I love them.
I just saw something where Melania's spokesperson, Stephanie Grisham, is talking about her speech tonight. It's going to be from the Rose Garden at the White House, which she just redid, which cut down those trees that Jackie Kennedy planted 50 years ago.
Well, they were old.
And that's it's looking like that's why they did it, because she wanted to give her speech from there. And somebody was asking Stephanie Grisham, well, is that right, using the White House as a backdrop for a convention? Yeah.
Generally, you wouldn't do that.
Here's what Stephanie Grisham said. Well, it's her house, and that's where she wants to do. It's her house?
It's not her house.
No. It's not her house.
It's our house. We just let them live there.
It's her house? You could make that a boner tomorrow if you want.
Oh, there's so many if you wanted to go down that road. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Tuesday Tunes with Todd on the way. Boner fight coming up. Stand by for all of that. Scott Hell, Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Is it going to be hotter than hell today?
It's going to be warm.
97. That's pretty hot.
Oh, excuse me. I said that wrong. Is it going to be hotter than hail today?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Scott Hale, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Get your air conditioner tuned up and looked at it, because you're going to need it. And your air conditioning, listen to it, it's probably struggling a little bit, isn't it? Well, Scott Hale's people will come over and just for $39 tune up your air conditioning. Also, $500 off a new furnace or air conditioning unit. And if you need any big repairs of any kind, like drain cleanings and, the rooting out the roots and things like that, or air conditioning, plumbing repairs, furnace repairs, Scott Hale will give you $150 off a $350 repair. Scott Hale, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Give them a call, 801-264-HALE. That's 801-264-HALE, or go to scotthale.com.
2020.
So I saw this story, too, this morning, and did somebody break wind on the news?
It's what is that sound is what we're playing. It's a game.
So see if it sounds like that to you. This is during an interview with Democratic Representative, how do you say his name?
Swalwell.
Swalwell. He's on being interviewed by Chris Matthews on MSNBC, and you've got the audio.
I've got the audio, so we'll start off with Chris, and then he'll talk, and then you'll hear the fart during Eric Swalwell's response.
Who were on the phone listening to the president talk about this swap of dirt for U.S. military aid.
Chris, so far, the evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard...
Okay, one more time.
There we go.
Evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard...
Who were on the...
Now, so the internet, the Twitter, and all of that went crazy.
Yeah.
So who farted on the? Now they say.
Chris Matthews tweeted out saying that it was a coffee mug scooting across a table.
Which it probably is.
It could be, but it also sounds to me like a wooden stool leg.
Yeah.
Scraping across the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more likely one of those things than a fart.
I thought it was somebody just farting around. Somebody just put that in there. That's what it seemed like to me.
Added it to it?
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, they said that it happened during the broadcast, because if you look at Swalwell's face, he kind of grimaces a little.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
What was that?
Well, then it was him. It was Swalwell.
And
that was a Democratic fart.
He said, no, it wasn't me. I don't know where it came from, but it was funny at the time, and that's why I smiled.
Well, let's see. They say the smeller's the feller.
Well, what does it mean to the listener? The listener's the what?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to...
The hearer's
is the bearer?
I don't know.
I thought he who smelt it dealt it.
Well, it doesn't indicate that he smelt it. It indicates that he heard it.
Yeah, so we don't know if he dealt it. Fox smells his own hole first. That's what they say.
Taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And
Now he pauses a little bit there.
Yeah, just kind of because
Well,
he's
that's why
sneaking it. He
he-
thought he could sneak it out.
He kind of goes, "What was that?" Huh?
Although, wouldn't he'd sort of have to have a microphone near his.
Well, we don't know if it
his
was whether
ventilator.
it's his or Chris's, because they leave Chris's mic on as well.
Oh.
So
Well,
what Chris is claiming is that it was his coffee mug going across the top of the table.
Okay, then it's Matthews, and you can look at him. He's a farter.
He's a farter.
Yeah, he gets too excited about stuff, and
The president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And
Yeah, that
Cheap
pause. That
and
pause
look,
is.
that tells me he knows it's coming.
The pause is unfortunate.
That tells me he knows something's happening.
What, you mean like he leaned up? Like
So
he one cheek. He tried to one cheek
a
sneak.
one cheek sneak while he's standing up.
Because you can't fart in those hearing rooms. They're so condensed and
well, yeah,
all those people.
People would go, God, who did that?
Well, actually, that's the better place to go because there's so many possible.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Where was I yesterday? I was in a car with some people, and I won't say who, but I kept thinking, somebody is stinking this car up. And you don't want to say anything because
you'll embarrass somebody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to help him cheat an election.
Yeah, that was Chris Matthews.
Think it was Matthews?
Yeah.
Ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
Yeah, that's an old man fart. That's an old man fart. It's kind
How
of
can
raggedy.
you tell?
It's kind of raggedy.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not
strong,
full
it's
throated. It's kind of raggedy and almost wet sounding.
Oh.
And here are the rhymes that we were looking for. He who denied it supplied it.
Oh.
The blamer is the claimer.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, people.
All right.
Listen to the show. You're smarter than we
Thank you
are.
very much.
Very good.
All right, so, pay attention now.
No pee breaks, people. No pee breaks.
Oh, darn it.
Sorry, you should have went.
I know. Oh, well.
Because it is...
turns retard on X96. Ran from hell.
I'll be okay.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Bill's wiggling in his chair.
I am.
Like a 5-year-old that has to go.
Hi, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So I brought with me a tune because it's Tuesday.
What sort of a tune is it?
Well, so it's from the band TWO. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Now, you've probably never heard of them. It's Asia Volkman. She, front woman for Nico Vega.
Oh.
And
It's Dan Reynolds' wife.
That's right. She hangs out with Dan Reynolds and their kids and everything. And she's got this new project. It's her and the drummer from Nico Vega, Dan Eppend, have this project called Two, because it's just two of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I heard this song and thought, let's play it, and we added it to the rotation, so you're going to hear it a little bit on the radio already, but I think it's cool, and I'll just throw it on. Let's see what you guys think.
Hey, what's it called again?
The song is called In This Rough.
In This Rough. Okay.
Rough.
In this rough, the band is 2 Tuesday Tunes with Todd, X96.
Sitting here in my room with Dean Cardinal, Worldwide Trekking, and a man who's become a good friend, Geljan Sherpa, and we're sitting here talking to you on a cell phone, essentially, which is amazing to me that you can do this where we are. Let me try to describe this. We are actually in a really remote part of the world. You can helicopter in here, but it's horribly expensive, and people don't do it much. People walk to get to these places, and they walk for days and days. There are people who live way up in the Khumbu, and they come down here. Kind of the Namche Bazaar is, would you say it's a halfway point between here and Lukla?
Yeah, and it's a trading spot between the valley and Tibet, and a place where people come together for the Saturday market to trade goods, to buy goods, and everything else.
And so people walk for a long time to get to these places, and people walk. They'll walk from very remote places up by Everest, and they'll come down here to trade, as Dean said. But what's really unusual is that people have cell phones everywhere. It's just stunning in its incongruity. It's just incredible. You'll be walking. I'll be puffing my way up a trail, and some Sherpa kid will be, carrying a big heavy load of stuff and talking on a cell phone. It's just an amazing thing to see. I should describe a little bit. I don't think I described very well. Coming into Namche Bazaar, there are these giant prayer wheels in houses. I'd forgotten about this, and I asked our friend here, Geljan, what those were, and he said the river used to run under those prayer wheels and turn the prayer wheels, but the river has been kind of diverted. I don't know why, but they turn the prayer wheels anymore. So yeah, so it's just such a world of contrast here, and you'll see all of these Sherpa kids wearing kind of American, westernized looking clothes and talking on cell phones, but then they're also very into their culture. And I just want you to tell people really quickly, Geljan, what you call your son. What's your nickname for your son?
My son nickname is Chicken Head.
Chicken Head. Geljan. You see, Geljan is like fathers everywhere. His son, Pasang, right? Pasang has a kind of a weird hairdo with it kind of sticks up, and he's dyed it a kind of a red color, and so his father, being like fathers everywhere, doesn't like it, so he calls him Chicken Head. Anyway, we'll have more from Namche Bazaar. I'm Bill Allred, heading for Tibet. Tibet? No, not Tibet.
I like the way it starts out, and then it builds and builds and builds.
And then it just blows up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got such a powerful vocal on that song. First time I heard it, I thought, damn it, this is amazing. Now, their their EP is out. It's called Pull the Knife Out, and all the songs are really good.
Okay, again, explain who it is,
really
Todd.
cool, too.
Is it?
Yeah, the video's great. It's a band called Two, spelled T-W-O, and it's Asia Volkman and Dan Eppend, both from Nico Vega. Just the two of them on this project, and the song is called In This Rough.
Nice. Wow. Very nice. Thank you.
I like that one. Anything else going on, Todd?
We got the Fake Festival. The Larry H. Miller Used Car Supermarket X96 Fake Festival is going to be on Saturday, and we figured out the lineup for it yesterday. I think it's on x96.com right now. I didn't look. It might be. I know that...
yeah, it's up.
I know Deftones are on it. I know... we're going to have Billie Eilish on it. Linkin Park again. Imagine Dragons are on it.
Right.
And New Order.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
couldn't-
listen to me, Bill. Todd, you listen to me. Evanescence is on
Yes,
this.
and Evanescence.
I
yes,
love
Katie's
you.
been mentioning that she wanted Evanescence.
I've been trying for this every single festival.
I think.
Well, we had actually had quite a few people sending in Evanescence, so your
People are
campaign
listening
worked,
to me.
Katie.
I think this is the reason that RSL is playing tomorrow instead of Saturday.
Well, that's right.
Because of the fake festival.
The fake festival could take up all day Saturday.
Didn't want to compete.
The biggest event ever. Which fake venue should we pretend like it's at? Should we pretend like it's at USANA?
No,
or
no,
should we...
it's the final show at Bricks.
Let's do it at
Bricks.
Park West.
Final show at Bricks.
That's right, at Bricks. A private club for members. Or what was it that was in the venue and all those various other names?
Club Sound.
Yeah.
Well,
with the after party at Club Deviate.
I guess I should have voted harder.
Who were you going for?
I want to get the interrupters in there.
Oh yeah, those guys are great.
I'd love to have the interrupters in there.
But that was a very lukewarm. Oh yeah, those guys
Yeah.
are great.
Well, I was starting to think because I'm like, I don't know how many songs from them I have.
I think we have 4 or 5 in there,
yeah.
but you know, I could tell that was a no from Todd.
That was a really lukewarm.
No, it wasn't, Gary. It was me processing because some of these I'm like, because you know how we switched over to a new server and the music library is some of the. That was where that was. I was
all right.
Yeah, those guys are great.
No, my brain's immediately going to. Did those transfer into this new system? I hope, because I've found a few black holes in our library. When this thing happened.
Yeah, that's true. We need to start writing those down when we find them and give them to you.
I've got a list, but yes, thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Tuesday Tunes with
Tuesday Turns with Todd on X96. Van from Hell.
Okay, it is 9:13 right now. Coming up, we got Boner Fight to determine who is Boner of the Day. A reasonable amount of news as well, all coming up. Stand by for that. Thank you to the Park City Restaurant Association.
The cocktail contest is still going on. The
To the end of the month.
Yeah, till the 31st. And they're to find out who the participating restaurants and bars are at the annual Park City Cocktail Contest. You go to parkcityrestaurants.com and vote for your favorite drink. Now, many of these establishments are open. You can go to them, and they are all taking, of course, precautions, social distancing and all of that, and try the drinks. But I think they're also, you can make some of them at home and try it that way as well, and vote for your favorite cocktail. Vote online. When you vote, you're entered to win a prize, which is called the Bartender's Box, which is top-shelf cocktail experience delivered right to your door, equipped with fresh ingredients and helpful how-to videos to make cocktails, and it's really a great prize. So you got to be 21 to vote. You can only vote once. Go to parkcityrestaurants.com.
And now, it's time to play the game that everyone wants to play. It's Beat Gina! Beat Gina brought to you today by Haster Games. Haster Games in Midvale has the best selection of board games, Magic, and Dungeons & Dragons. And Haster also buys used games. Haster Games on 6831 South State Street, or go to HasterGames.com. And today, one lucky contestant will win a Fat Cats gift card. Yes, but that's not all. Another contestant, the same contestant, will win a Radio from Hell tote bag. And now, here's the man who can host a game show with one hand tied behind his back. He's so good, he can host 2 game shows at the same time. Wow. When you look in the dictionary for the words game show host, you will find his picture, and you will swoon. Wow. Here he is, the man, nay, the legend, Kerry Jacksboy Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome,
Although
Kerry.
I think you're just taking Wikipedia entries about Wink Martindale and using them for me, right?
Oh, no. Wink Martindale doesn't cast a shadow like you do.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
How we pick the contestants, you ask? Well, it's easy. We determine, based on the prize that they're going to give Gina, if she beats them at Scary Movie Trivia. So, line 1, Gina is offering you a Greek gyro meal.
Ooh.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's prepared here or
no, there's no
if it's
specifics.
transported.
Okay.
Doesn't say. Line 2 is offering you Halloween cookies and wine.
Okay.
And line 3 is offering you Lehigh Bakery donuts.
I've never had the Lehigh Bakery donuts.
Oh, they're very good.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Is that what you want?
Sure.
Going with Lehigh Bakery donuts with Brad. Brad is who you will be playing against today. Brad, are you there? Oh, hang on. Brad, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, good. Thank you, Brad. I was doing some work during the commercial. All right. We toss coin to determine who goes first. It does give you an advantage in the game. Heads or tails?
Tails.
All right. Coin toss app says tails. That means you go first, Brad.
Are you feeling confident, Brad?
Very confident.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
These trivia questions prepared by Katie, I would think. No? Okay. Hawk. Based on the Scary Movie franchise.
Okay.
Which were the parodies of the Scream movies and a whole bunch of other horror movies, and so it's based on those.
Okay.
So here we go. Brad, your question first. Multiple choice. What is the name of the high school that Cindy goes to in the first Scary Movie? Is it 1, Shadyside High School, 2, Serial K High School, 3, Dead Bodies High, or 4, B.A. Corpse High School?
I think it's A.
Shadyside? Incorrect.
Shadyside.
Gina.
B.A. Corpse.
B.A. Corpse is correct.
It's 1-0 for Gina, and I don't think I'd like to go to that high school. Gina now controls the question as well.
Gina.
Yeah.
What did Cindy type on the computer to summon the police? What was her message to call the police? Was it 1, the killer's in the house, 2, white woman in trouble, 3, can you bring some donuts, 4, I've fallen and I can't get up?
White woman in trouble.
Wow.
That's 2-0 for Gina, a commanding lead. But, Brad, you have a chance to climb back into the game.
Brad?
All right.
What is the book that Cindy is reading? Is it 1, Harry Pothead, 2, Board of the Rings, 3, The Gay Gatsby, or 4, The I'm Really Hungry Games?
The Gay Gatsby.
Incorrect, Gina.
I don't know.
A, Harry Pothead?
Yeah. Oh, that was a total guess.
Well, Gina sweeps the game.
Wow.
Brad almost didn't get a chance to say anything. And now you'll be
I guess I gotta go rewatch those movies.
Yeah.
You'll be enjoying delicious Lehigh Bakery donuts, and poor Brad will go home empty-handed.
People shouldn't expect me to do that again. That was a
That may never happen.
No.
You whipped him like a souffle.
Hang on, Brad. All right.
I'm going. Goodbye.
You're just out of here?
Yes.
You can't leave until I turn the music down.
Oh, you're right. I can't.
I'm
trying to.
It's like a Doctor Strange spell.
I'm trying to, but I can't leave.
Tell me the truth, Gina. You guessed on all of those.
Totally guessed.
I knew you didn't see those movies. I just knew it. Okay, Johnny, you're free.
Thank you.
You're released. All right, 9:21.
In Yale College, you can earn a bachelor's degree in nursing in as few as 32 months with 3 convenient start dates per year. No prenup. Prerequisites. That's a hard word.
Why don't you
Prerequisites.
start again?
At Nightingale College, you can earn a bachelor's degree in nursing in as few as 32 months, with 3 convenient start dates per year and no prerequisites and no waiting lists. Get started. It's easier than you think. Go online at nightingale.edu today.
Prerequisites. Brittany Spears has revealed that she wanted conservatorship. She wanted the conservatorship taken away. She wanted her dad still controls her life, essentially, her finances.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted that taken away. The court said no. We've talked to people.
You're not quite ready yet.
You can't. So she said, well, she's going to collect crystals, and that the crystals will bring her more confidence, and then she'll be able to.
Good for her.
Yeah.
That was a very sane thing to say, Brittany.
It's Brittany Watch, keeping you up to date with all your Britney Spears news.
She lost a bid to take control of her finances, and she's now decided to go back to the things she loved when she was a kid.
Crystals?
Well, partially, yes. She's got a copy of the Crystal Bible, a definitive guide to crystals by Judy Hall.
Okay.
And she hopes that the crystals will bring her confidence, and she prays with them.
Okay.
I think she's well on her way to recovery.
Oh, yeah.
with that statement, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Well,
No?
on the way to being able to take control again, yeah.
Well, we'll see. Keanu Reeves says, I really wanted to be Wolverine, man.
He did?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
He wanted to play Wolverine in the X-Men franchise. He was being interviewed. He would have been great. He was being interviewed by Andy Cohen in connection with the Bill and Ted Face the Music movie. He was on with his co-star Alex Winter, when Andy Cohen said, is there any particular role that you kind of missed, that you thought you had a shot at and you missed?
The one that got away.
Yeah, he says, I wanted to play Wolverine. It's not too late. I mean, it's not too late for Keanu to play Wolverine, said Alex Winter, but I'm just going to leave it right there. He could do it. He still could do it.
Carrie's holding up a picture of Wolverine. That's kind of looks like Keanu. I could kind of see it.
Yeah, that's an actual photograph, too, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, complete. Yeah.
Andy Cohen then asked if it was real that Keanu did want to do it, and he said, yeah, man, I really did want to play Frank Miller's Wolverine. And, yeah, he probably could have done it. I read an interview or a little profile thing with Keanu and Alex Winter. I think it was in the New York Times over the weekend. And one of the big reasons they're doing this movie is that they have always wanted to. They say we became fast friends on that first movie, and they've remained close friends. They're still close friends. They get together from time to time. They like each other a lot, and we kind of make fun of Alex Winter a little because Keanu's become such a big star, but Alex Winter works. He's produced documentaries and
he directs.
He has directed documentaries.
But let's be honest, if Keanu is going to play any Marvel character.
What's that?
The Silver Surfer?
Silver Surfer.
Dude.
How come? Why do you pick Keanu
He's
for
a surfer
that?
dude. He's a surfer.
Because he'd have that Zen quality to play the Silver Surfer.
He seems like a surfer,
Mm-hmm.
So the Food and Drug Administration on Sunday gave emergency approval for expanded use of antibody-rich blood plasma to help hospitalized coronavirus patients, allowing President Trump, who's been putting the screws to him, to move faster to address the pandemic and claim progress on the eve of the Republican convention. Trump cited the approval, which had been held up by concerns among top government scientists about the data behind it, as welcome news in fighting a disease that has led to 176,000 deaths that he cares not about, other than how it affects his re-election bid in the United States, and left the nation lagging far behind most others in the effectiveness of its response. At a news briefing, he described the treatment as a powerful therapy. It's made possible by marshaling the full power of the federal government, which
I mean,
I
maybe,
control.
but you gotta give it a minute and have proper vetting and study and peer review and.
Sunday's announcement came a day after he repeated his unfounded claim that the Food and Drug Administration was deliberately holding up decision-making until after the election. Deliberately.
This is how science works, sir. You can't. Here, let me. So you're making cookies, and you put them in the oven, and the minute you put them in the oven, you're like, "But I want the cookie now," and you pull it out, and well, it's not quite cooked through yet. You got to put it in and finish it. It's not finished.
So these are chocolate chip plasma tests.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you? So the Republican National Convention's underway already today. I think. What's going to happen today? Well, Melania Trump will give, I'm sure, a very wonderful speech from the newly renovated White House Rose Garden. Her speech will cap an evening at the GOP's virtual convention that features an unusual assortment of lawmakers and supporters of Trump. Donald Trump himself will again show up. He's showing up at every session, which is unusual.
He craves attention.
Two other presidential family members, Eric and Tiffany, are scheduled to speak at the convention.
They booked them on the same night? I think you'd spread that around a little bit.
No, just get it over with. I'm surprised they didn't get it over with on the first night. I think it's now. I'm just hoping that this is the moment where Melania Trump, and what she's going to do is talk about. It'll be interesting to see if she can talk about what a wonderful, compassionate person her husband is.
That.
Well, that's the only reason for her to be there.
Is to talk about how compassionate he is?
To talk about the human side of him. That's the only reason she would.
Not human either. How can she?
But that would be the only reason to have her, is
People
so that she
don't
can
know the Donald
humanize.
like I know the Donald.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
And he is good man.
That, and I'm hoping that she realizes she can't do that, and spills the beans on national television.
Be best. Now, just go and take a look at one of Michelle Obama's speeches, and that's what she'll be saying tonight again.
Yeah, she did use a few lines from the
No,
last time.
not a few lines. Almost entirely verbatim.
Yep.
There is side-by-side video you can see of it.
Now, listen, fresh peaches, if you've bought any fresh peaches at the grocery store. Now, I've bought Brigham City peaches at the fruit stands. That doesn't apply here. Fresh peaches sold loose and in bags across the country, including Utah, are being recalled because the products could be contaminated with salmonella. These are peaches from Prima Waona, Prima Waona, a Fresno, California company, voluntarily recalling peaches distributed and sold in supermarkets including Target, Walmart, Kroger, Smith's Food and Drug in Utah. Contaminated peaches, contaminated with salmonella. Okay?
It's Boner Fight. With Radio from Hell on X96.
Don't eat the peaches.
Millions of peaches.
All right.
Peaches
so how do peaches get contaminated with salmonella?
I don't know.
Is it from improper hygiene of the farm workers?
Probably.
All right. Anyway, here we go. This is the winner from round one going against the winner from round two. Round one, No Mask Monday. That was the winner. Washington County. A bunch of people urging parents of students to send their kids to school without masks on Monday to protest mask wearing because they can't suspend the whole student body, so send your kids to school without masks. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and the cooler heads were the high school students who said, well, no, we shouldn't do that. That's terrible. But they're going to continue, I think, this No Mask Monday. There are going to be people continuing trying to pursue that in Washington County, St. George. And that's going against number two, stealing from the good guys. The firefighter's wallet stolen and his bank account drained while he was busy fighting forest fires in California. That's number 2.
Two good candidates. You've got to decide of these two candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be Boner of the Day. 1 or 2. Remember your candidate number. It's the one that you think should win. Put that number, that single digit is all that's needed, and put that in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Pretty easy to vote that way. Or you can just use your phone, call the producer's booth, and tell them at 877-602-9696. Use your voice. Or go online, go to x96.com. As soon as you get there, refresh your browser so that the box appears that says Boner Fight August 25, 2020. Click on that and vote there. So, you got to decide who is Boner of the Day right now. It's Boner Fight, X96.
You know what they love more than a list?
What's that?
The dueling list.
What do you mean a dueling list?
Well,
I was just gonna do here these 5 health food buzzwords that are misleading.
Misleading buzzwords?
Well, I have 7 reasons why hotel sex can be very exciting.
Oh, dueling lists.
It's Radio from Hell with another list.
All right.
Because people love a good list. X96.
All right.
If you think your list is so tough, Gina, you go first.
Number 1, reasons why hotel sex can be very exciting.
All right.
Number 1, breaks the monotony. Nothing damages sex life more than monotony, and experts suggest trying something new whenever people feel their sex life lacks luster. Having sex in a hotel room can help couples overcome their boredom of a regular sex life.
Oh, yeah? Number 1, health food buzzword that's misleading.
Okay.
Lightly sweetened. Light is not an industry-regulated term, so any amount of sugar can be deemed light. One place you can spot this term is on cereal boxes. Lightly sweetened indeed. Lightly sweetened cereal with blueberries, 13 grams of sugar. It's a lie and it's misleading.
Gina?
Open to trying new things. Reasons why hotel sex can be very exciting. When people have sex repeatedly in the same place like their bedroom, they get used to doing things a certain way. But a new place encourages couples to try new things. Having sex in a hotel room can inspire couples to be adventurous. Try new positions. It can make it very exciting.
Oh, yeah? Number 2 health food buzzwords that's misleading. Uncured meat. Cured meats, like bacon and sausage, they've long had a bad rep for containing nitrites, a food preservative that's been linked to cancer. So logic follows that meats labeled uncured wouldn't carry that risk. Well, you're wrong. According to a 2015 Ohio State University study, such labeling, the study concluded, is unusual, confusing, and technically incorrect. That's number 2, uncured meat.
Number 3, reasons why hotel sex is exciting. Free from responsibilities. You don't have to do laundry. There's no dishes to do. The kids aren't there.
Somebody's got to do that. Somebody's got to do that laundry, though.
That's nothing.
Free from responsibility.
Number 3, made with real fruit. That label makes me laugh. It's a sure sign that there's little or no fruit in it at all. And whatever fruit there is processed beyond recognition. To avoid being duped, look at the food's ingredients. They're listed in order by greatest amount to least. Where does real fruit appear in the list? It isn't near the top of the list. That's all I'm saying. That's number 3.
Forbidden can be exciting. According to experts, sometimes a little amount of guilty feeling can make the experience of having sex very exciting. And if you feel guilt having sex in a place outside of the 4 walls of your bedroom, like a hotel room, it can be a very exciting experience.
You know what?
What?
Number 4 on this list, all natural. Just like lightly sweetened, the word natural
is an unregulated term, which is why so many companies have overused it. By one company's definition, chocolate hazelnut spread earned the natural label because it was made with real nuts and chocolate, even though it's essentially a jar full of sugar.
What number are we?
This is number 5, and I only have 5, so that's as far as you can go.
So that's it?
Oh, one more. Give me a knockout punch, because I don't think you're winning so far.
Okay. Sex is more enjoyable when you're relaxed.
Oh.
You can order food to the room.
Well, yeah.
You don't have to leave. It
And
has
then
everything you want
You can order
there.
food to the room and then have sex with it.
Oh, yeah?
You can't do that at home.
Oh, yeah?
Sex in a hotel
Oh,
is very exciting.
It's a 3-sandwich day.
No help. No help, Carrie.
Sorry.
This is our fight. And mine, here's the knockout punch.
Okay.
5 health food buzzwords that are misleading. Gluten-free. I'm amused by gluten-free on products. Never had any wheat in them to begin with. And that's where gluten comes from.
Oh.
Gluten-free, they put it on things that don't have gluten anyway. Gluten-free, it's just a lie. Wheat, it doesn't mean that it's healthy either if it's gluten-free.
Well,
oh man.
If you have to ask me to declare a winner, I declare we're all winners because it's dueling lists.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
It's 9:40, time to award Boner of the Day.
And it's brought to you in part by, Chinese food.
And Ran Life, your local mortgage experts, their knowledgeable team will help you find the lowest fetch-in rates available and have you closed in an easy, streamlined e-close experience. RanLife.com.
Number 1, No Mask Monday, the local candidate. Going up against number 2, Stealing from the Good Guys. To me, the most egregious of the two. The worst. Stealing. This guy's fighting, putting his life on the line, fighting a wildfire in California. His wallet is in his fire vehicle, locked up, but somebody breaks in, steals the wallet, and drains the guy's bank account. To me, that's just beyond the pale. But the local boner candidate, No Mask Monday, number 1, wins
That was the winner?
Boner of the Day. Yeah.
All right. It's your Boner of the Day for Tuesday, August 25. Now qualified to be Boner of the Week. Well, let's get the theme song going, and we'll talk to
This is
Nurse
caring,
Nicole. Yes.
caring music, isn't it?
Yes, this is Nurse Nicole.
Nurse Nicole, Nicole Lamb from Nightingale College. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Fine. Well, Nicole, are you sleeping better and eating and getting exercise? Are you?
Well, frankly, I am. I'm not sure. Is that okay to say? Yes,
Well, yeah.
I'm doing well.
You're doing better than many of us then, but we're supposed to keep doing that. I mean, it's hard to find the motivation though to do it. I mean, at home, and I don't know. But let's talk about some things you can do to improve your chances of staying healthy along with exercise and nutrition. And I know that there's been some research done into vitamins and where do you stand on all of that?
So I'd love to speak about those. I think there's a lot that isn't known with COVID, and then how to best prevent and treat the illness. But different nutrients can help out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to touch on a few, if that's all right. And
sure.
then our website also has a bunch more under nightingale.edu.
Okay.
So on the top of my list would be a vitamin D, which is not so much a vitamin as more of a nutrient from the sun. So getting out in the sun does help, but more than 50 or about 50% of the country is low in vitamin D. And when you see reports of COVID-19, you'll find that some of the sickest patients have the lowest levels of vitamin D. So that would be really important. And there's really cheap and easy blood tests that you can see what your levels are at. And so not only is vitamin D important for your immune system, but it's really important for your heart and bone health. I think most people think of bone health when they think of vitamin D, but vitamin D stimulates T cells, which are the scavenger cells of the immune system. So they're looking for viruses and bacteria to get to them.
So is the supplement is a supplement okay? Getting out in the sun would be the best, but is the supplement okay?
Supplement's a great place to start. There's not really. Sorry, the mower man's here. There's not a known level of toxicity with vitamin D. There is more so with vitamin A, and we could talk about that next. So vitamin A, it's known as the cell signaling vitamin, and it helps maintain the integrity of the mucous membrane. So your mouth, your nose, your eyes, it helps keep those all from having breaks in the system. But large doses in pregnant women can be toxic to unborn babies. And then large doses are also proven toxic if used long term, right? But in the short term, they're looking at using it with some COVID patients, which is interesting. Food sources for vitamin A would be like fish liver oils. I don't know if your parents gave them to you, but I had cod liver oil growing up.
Oh, I still take a big spoonful of cod liver oil every morning.
Do you?
It's delicious. Delicious.
Delicious. Egg yolks, deep yellow and orange veggies. They're really more of a precursor to vitamin A. They're more along the beta carotene line, but that would be a good place to start. So they really don't suggest going over 10,000 to 25,000 international units on vitamin A.
Yeah, I've always told people to hold up. When you get that high, I always say, hey, hang on there. Hang on there.
The other nutrient I wanted to speak about was zinc.
Okay.
And you probably have heard about it with colds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so zinc deficiency is associated with immune system dysfunction, and it helps with the natural killer cells of the immune system. So again, just more kind of scavenging and making sure viruses and bacteria stay out of our bodies. And sources for that would be like pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds, oysters, green beans. Fully in season right now.
Don't leave out chickpeas. Don't leave out chickpeas.
Chickpeas, yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Eat lots of hummus. Eat lots of hummus. You'll get zinc that way. Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, Nicole, if you want more information about these supplements and because we just run over them real quick here, we'll post something on our website, but I think you could find it all at Nightingale College too, right?
Correct. So just nightingale.edu.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
All right,
much,
have a great
Nicole.
day.
You too.
Talk to you later. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Gina, Volkswagen Southtown.
Yeah, so Festus and I, for the last couple of years, have been sharing various cars from Volkswagen Southtown, and we tried them all, and he actually ended up buying one. He bought a Tiguan. That's the smaller SUV. He liked that a lot, and that might be for you. Maybe the Passat's for you. Maybe you want the bigger SUV, the Atlas. Well, all of them right now at Volkswagen Southtown have 0% APR for up to 6 years on every remaining 2020 Volkswagen, or you can get 0 payments for 4 months on any new car. Get into the zero zone at VWSouthtown.com. Interest rates have never been lower. Trade in your car at Volkswagen Southtown and you'll get the original base MSRP for it, taking deductions only for mileage, manufacturer incentives, and any damage. Volkswagen Southtown has a great selection also of used cars, all makes, models. Upgrade your car to a newer one. You can go see them. They're just off 106 South on I-15, or you can start your shopping, as always, at VWSouthtown.com.
Stay and play.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders. In this episode, we find an old adversary of Butch and Lehigh planning their demise.
So, bounty hunter, you will bring me Christiansen?
Jabba the Hutt was very fond of his rank. Pay me more for a complete set of missions.
Christiansen made me look weak in front of the Emperor. Only by turning Christiansen to the dark side will I be able to regain my place by the Emperor's side.
100 Jensen.
Sell him to that slug, Jabba. I have arranged to have the elders meet you on Bespin. There you can ambush them without anyone noticing.
If these elders best you and the Emperor, how do you expect me to transport them back to you?
I prefer my elders frozen. There is a carbonite facility on Cloud City. That should make transporting them simple.
Have my credits ready. I'll be right back. Here we are, Butch. Cloud City. It sure looks like the holograms they showed us in school.
I don't know, Lehigh. I always get nervous when I stand on a city that's floating miles above the surface. Are you sure this is the right place?
Zone Leader Hanson said that we're supposed to meet someone here named Lando Calrissian, right here on Bespin.
Well, church records on this Calrissian fellow show him to be a gambler, smuggler, womanizer, and a penny stock manipulator. Are you sure this is the guy?
Well, maybe he's ready to turn over a new leaf. Oh, I think that's him right there.
Hi, and welcome to Cloud City. I'm Lando Calrissian. I run the mining operation here on Bespin. Could I offer you a beverage, perhaps some malt?
I love a malt.
Liquor?
Oh, no, we don't drink, Mr. Calrissian. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Aye.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
Now, our zone leader said that you might be interested in learning more about our religion.
Actually, no. We have some common acquaintances. I've made a deal with the Empire. Well, they'll leave me alone if I introduce you to this guy over here. Elders, this is Boba Fett. Boba Fett, Elders Christiansen and Jensen there. Gotta go now. Got a city to run. Bye-bye.
Well, Mr. Fat was up? Well, hi, I'm... Hey, I'm all tied up!
Cool toy. I need to get me one of those. We could convert more people if we could just tie them up first.
Now, Butch, I don't think we would be allowed to hog-tie prospective converts. Excuse me, Mr. Fat, could you untie me now?
One down, one to go.
Don't push my companion in that hole!
Whoa!
What have you done to my companion? Is Butch dead?
No, he wouldn't be worth much to me dead. Jabba wants to see him die in person. Your companion is frozen in carbonite. Now, if you would be so kind as to throw yourself down in there, we can get on with this.
You're going to take us both back to Jabba's palace?
No, you have an appointment with Darth Vader and the Emperor.
Cousin Darth? Oh, my.
Hey, get over here.
Sorry about this, Butch, but I need you to do something for me. Oh, I guess you weighed more than I thought in this thing, Butch. I'm sorry, Mr. Fat. I hope my companion, who's now frozen in carbonite, wasn't too heavy. Oh, geez, what do I got to do now? I better go for some help.
Never leave your companion, Lehigh.
Mr. Kenobi?
It is the first rule. You must never leave your companion.
Obi-Wan, come back. I need some help. Oh, well, I guess I can put you on my luggage rack like this, Butch. Come on, let's go. Will Butch be able to serve out the rest of his mission frozen in carbonite? Can Lehigh really find a big microwave to defrost him in? Will Darth Vader ever get his revenge and once again become the Emperor's favorite lapdog? And where does Boba Fett get all those neat gizmos? Tune in next time to hear Butch say... on the next mind-numbing episode of Space Elders!
All right, 9:54.
I think we maybe I was thinking about baby names for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it was last week or the week before, somebody contacted us, or was it maybe it was a news story, I guess, that they wanted to name their baby after that obscure Star Wars.
He's a boner
character.
candidate.
Yeah, Captain Phasma.
Captain Phasma. And we just thought, that's a bad idea. And then occasionally we get people calling us up or emailing us with baby name suggestions, and they want to give their babies really strange names based on books that they like or movies that they like, or and we say no, don't saddle them with a weird name. And then I got thinking though that there are maybe that we're wrong.
What do you mean?
Maybe you should give the babies the strange names that you want, the unusual names, the Captain Phasmas. I mean, because Megan the Stallion is doing just fine. Charlemagne the God makes a lot of money.
Well,
Fetty Wap is huge. What Kid Cudi? You name your kid, your child Kid Cudi. He's doing great. Lil Pump? We're going to name him Lil Pump. You'd think, well, that's a death sentence right there. That kid's not going to go anywhere. But no, Lil Pump is making money.
But what's Mike done lately?
Yeah, exactly. Gina.
How's Mike?
Exactly.
Mike do anything with his life?
Craig? What's Craig doing? Lil Peep and Lil Pump both.
I've been having discussions with my daughter, which may turn into official discussions. It's under discussion.
It's under, what do you mean official discussions?
We'll just stay tuned. But, so her radio name's Jonesy, not her real name.
Mm-hmm.
Her real name, unfortunately, every person having a baby the year she was born all simultaneously decided that was the great name that nobody named their kids, and now there are 5 million of them.
Mm-hmm.
And she hates it. She doesn't hate her name. She hates
that everyone has the same name.
What you mean? She doesn't have an unusual name like Bill? Is that
How
what
many
she's?
Bills were in your class, though? That's the thing.
I don't know, a bunch, I think.
It's that you walk into a room and they say the name and you're like, one of 5 people that turn around. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had talked about before she started high school, I said, if you want to go by your middle name, you can go by your middle name. We talked about it. She's like, no, my friends already know me by this name. But like last night, she's like, I really wish I would have gone by my... Because her middle name's unusual. She would have been the only one in her class.
Well, I've done it. I've changed my name before. I went by my as people know, my real name is Ralph. My first name is Ralph, which I never cared for, and so I went by my middle name when I was growing up, William Bill. But when I went to graduate school, I just let everybody call me Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting to do. It was an interesting...
Maybe when she goes to college. It's too late now, but maybe when she goes to college, she can go by her middle name.
Or why don't you do her a favor, and you guys could just move?
There you go. That's easy.
Yeah.
Should we do our promo?
I submitted my paperwork to change my name to Norin Rad, but it didn't go through.
Norin?
Norin Rad.
Wait a minute. Let me get
Norin
that right.
Rad.
Norin?
I'm rad.
How do you spell Norin?
I'm rad.
N-O-R-R-I-N.
Double R.
Yeah.
N-O-R-R-I-N. Norin Rad.
Norin Rad. All right.
Hey, I like that.
Okay. Well, paperwork didn't go through. Let's do the promo and crawl toward the exits.
All right, here we go. Apparently there's a gang in the building somewhere. I'm not. Oh, that's us. I see. Okay. The whole gang is back together for the 21st week of Radio from Hell from Home.
It's Wednesday, and that means we'll put our best foot forward to help you get rid of the things that must go.
But if you want our help, you have to send us your must-goes to radiofromhell@x96.com.
And, of course, Dr. Cobble will join us at 7:45 to answer all of your COVID-19 questions, so be ready to call in.
Don't worry, there'll be more for Wednesday's Radio from Hell show on X96. Norin Rad.
You don't like my name,
Where did you
Norin
get
Rad?
that?
That's the real name of the Silver Surfer. Before he became the Silver Surfer, that was his name.
I'd rather be known as the Silver Surfer than Norin Rad.
Well, he still calls himself that. It's just it's a whole. You don't want me to go down that hole, all right?
Okay.
Okay, good job, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Norin Rad? Really?
Corey is next.